The following is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Welcome back to Big Ten Saturday on Peacock, presented by Liberty Mutual. The Ohio Bobcats in town for a rare visit to the Horseshoe, led by 45-year-old head coach Brian Smith. First year as a head coach at Ohio, first time he's been a head coach in his career. Arrived in Athens 3 years ago as a running back coach, quickly ascended to offensive coordinator, and now the head man for the Bobcats. UCLA transfer David Dellenbach will kick off for Ohio. They won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so we'll see this Buckeye offense on the field right away. Ohio impressive to get this season started. They were tied with Rutgers in the fourth quarter before losing in game one. Upset West Virginia last weekend, and the Buckeyes come in 2-0. Victories over Texas and Grambling State. And the college football world just getting to know Ohio State's young starting freshman quarterback. Top-rated quarterback class of 24 from just north of San Diego. He actually committed to and enrolled at Alabama. Then Nick Saban retired. He decided to transfer, picked Ohio State over USC. Then it was competition time once Will Howard got drafted into the NFL. It was an 8-month competition through spring, summer, a lot of the camp. Finally, mid to late August, he got named the starter. He makes his third start here tonight. C.J. Donaldson had been the main running back for the Buckeyes. We do expect to see him, but James Peoples gets the start. Sayin right to the air. Sideline, right on the money to the All-American receiver, Jeremiah Smith. Accuracy from Sayin, something we got used to last week against Grambling State. Chris, he hit his first 16 passes and ended up 18 out of 19.
His accuracy is very impressive when you watch him on film. He very rarely loses control of the football in either of the two games he's played. You saw right there. If they're going to give 10-yard outs, 12-yard curl routes, he's going to hit them all day long. This is going to be one of the things, the game within the game, Paul.
His decision-making to delivery, awfully quick for a freshman. Hands off for the first time. Little hole up the middle, just across the 41-yard line. That's James Peoples with his first carry. So thinking about tailbacks for Ohio State, they lost their top two backs to the NFL draft in the spring. They're looking for their top two to establish themselves sometime here in the early season. Up front, experience is in the middle. Guard, center, guard. They are all returning starters for Ryan Day.
Not a lot of bad options here at running back. I think they'll be okay when it's all said and done.
Second down 5, could go pass or run here. Sayin, second pass. And again, that's Carnell Tate. First down, Ohio State, 31 consecutive games. He has at least one catch.
This is going to be the thing to watch throughout the day, is Ohio's got to worry about the running game and also worry about not letting up the big play in the pass game. You see here, Julian in good throwing position, strike.
And well protected. Again, now looking deep, Jeremiah Smith, got it! He's got 2 catches already, and the Buckeyes have first and goal.
Well, this is arguably, if not definitely, the best player in college football. I think both coaching staffs would echo this. When they get single safety, man-to-man type coverage where Jeremiah Smith is one-on-one, they're going to work him to death. And this is going to be the problem for Ohio all day, is we want to protect our DBs, but we're not big enough to just handle the running game with our safeties. Our safeties have to be down there to help out a little bit.
Jeremiah Smith, now the fastest Buckeye to reach 1,500 receiving yards, did it in 19 games. C.J. Donaldson, his first carry, not much there. Down to the 8-yard line. We'll give him 2, Chris. And take a look at what Jeremiah Smith just did and who he passed to get to 1,500 receiving yards so quickly. Some awfully good names there for the Buckeyes.
They don't get any better. I mean, Chris Carter, all he does is catch 10 touchdowns. Jackson Smith and Jigba's the #1 receiver up in Seattle. I played with David Boston. We saw Emeka Egbuka last week. There's a reason why they call this wide receiver U.
Hey, coming off another 100-yard receiving game. He did that his first of the season against Grambling. Donaldson remains the tailback on second and goal. Gets another chance. And now he's inside the 5 to set up 3rd and goal. Gets 3. And thinking about running backs, I mentioned it earlier, Chris, but their top 2 off to the NFL. They've got 4 or 5 they like. Ryan Day told us yesterday we've got more depth than we ever have, but we'd like to find our best 2.
Right, and they're in the process of doing that. Like we talked about just a second ago, they're all pretty talented. They all have a little bit of a different skill set. You see right now with number 12, C.J. Donaldson, it's surprising. He's a really big back. He's 6'2", 230. He doesn't look like that with the number 12 on him, but he's capable of moving the pile and some power running when they need it.
West Virginia transfer Ryan Day calls him his hammerback. 3rd and goal. Saying. End zone. Carnell Tate couldn't come up with it.
Nice play by Tank Pearson there. Gets his hand on the ball. Had a little bit of a one-on-one. I think when we see one-on-ones from Ohio State throughout the day, they're going to check the pass plays. And here you got your 2 best receivers singled up. Little corner route. Probably got away with a little bit of a hold out of the break, but makes a nice play to get the left hand in there and knock the ball out of Carnell Tate's hand.
What do you think of them going for it here?
I have no problem with this. They're Ohio State. They probably have the best defense in football. You pin them down deep, or if you don't make it, if you do, of course, it's 7 here. I would expect to see a pass of some sort.
4th and goal, there it is. Sayin keeps it himself. Still looking, down he goes. Ohio stands. Anas Lukman makes the play. Turnover on downs. And the Bobcat defense only gave up 1 touchdown in an upset win last weekend against West Virginia. The Buckeyes had it rolling until this on 4th and goal. We're scoreless at the shoe.
One of the few mistakes we've seen Julian Sayin make here, but you see here he's going to have Donaldson in the flat, and Mike Molnar, backer, doesn't get out there. He should have thrown the ball. He had an easy touchdown to C.J. Donaldson. He doesn't see it for whatever reason, then tries to scramble, and they come up with nothing here.
Now we see Ohio's offense led by Parker Navarro for the first time. Tough spot for him standing inside his own 5-yard line. C.A. Ben-Gura. Initial resistance and a good finish there to pick up a handful there on first down. So Parker Navarro, he is the star for Ohio. Ryan Day told us yesterday he's a one-man wrecking crew. You see the interceptions there, though, Chris. All three of those picks came in the second half last week against West Virginia.
Well, they're working on him being smart and playing in the pocket and not letting the backyard football take over his game.
Leads the MAC in total offense through 2 games this season. Penalties come out. Big Ten crew tonight. The referee is Brian Banks.
Delay of game. Defense. Inserting signals. Clap for silence. It's second down.
Usually with these kind of plays and that penalty, somebody simulated the snap count, right? They say shift or move or clap right as the quarterback's trying to do it, and that's illegal. And of course, it was the right call by the referees.
And Kenyatta Jackson clapping his hands there top of the screen, so they had a nice run to start this drive. Tack on the extra 5, second and short. Bangura once again. 2,000-yard rusher was last year at Minnesota, then came back to Ohio. Picks up 2, good enough for the first down. Ohio offense, they had to replace most of the starters from last year's conference championship team. They do return wide receiver Chase Hendricks. He's a star in the slot, leads the MAC in receiving yards so far.
Here he is. Oh, excuse me. There he is. The screen moved on me, but that's the guy to watch. He's the go-to guy for Parker Navarro.
Where's number 7? A little more comfort now for Navarro, standing on his 15 instead of his own 3. First time to the air. Spins out. And that's what he does well, but Ohio State was ready for him. Caden Curry, the defensive end, with the stop.
Ohio State, under Matt Patricia as the D coordinator, is very disciplined in their pass rush lanes. They're not going to fly by Parker Navarro. You can see they're going to try to keep him in front. He better be careful. This is a different group of athletes than he's used to. You don't need to take these hits, especially early on in the football game. Protect the football.
Offensive coordinator Scott Isfording told him last week after they beat West Virginia, you were a great football player last week. Need you to be a good quarterback from the pocket. Second and long, quick release. Buckeyes there. No catch and run for Rodney Harris on his first catch of the season. So you heard a familiar name mentioned by Chris Sims there. Matt Patricia, longtime assistant for Bill Belichick, his former defensive coordinator. First-year defensive coordinator for Ryan Day here.
I got a chance to work with Matty P in New England. He's one of my favorite people I've ever been around in the NFL. And he's brought a whole different look to this defense that we'll break down as the day goes on.
Got him right where he wants him now. 3rd down and 8.
Number 8 in the middle of your screen, I think he's going to be the QB spy.
Navarro, middle. That receiver fell down, looking for a flag. It's not coming. 4th and 8.
You see Arbel Reese right here. He did this against Arch Manning in week 1. He's going to sit there and basically just read Parker Navarro. Read his eyes, and then, of course, if he runs and leaves the pocket, he's going to go chase him down. He's very good at it, and this is a new element that Matt Patricia has brought to this defense.
Ohio State defense looking the part of the number 2 scoring D on their first drive. Ohio punts it away. Magnus Haynes to Brandon Innes from his own 30. Backing up. And nice job by the Bobcats special teams. Innes dropped at the 25. Just underway between Ohio State and Ohio. Both teams had had the ball once. Scoreless in Columbus. From the crew that brought you The Office comes a new comedy of underdogs with major issues. The Papers, streaming now only on Peacock. Look there at the Skull Session. It's right next door at old St. John Arena where they used to play basketball for the Buckeyes. Fans there. As you can see, the band is there. Ryan Day was there, and some of the players come through. Speaking of St. John Arena, Clark Kellogg rang the victory bell.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was amazing to see. Big fan of Clark when he does all the basketball games.
Ryan Day, 7th full season as the Ohio State head coach. Victory over Texas, victory over Grambling. And just underway here, hosting Ohio. Julian Sayin, freshman quarterback for the Buckeyes, second possession. Try the left side, there's a hole. And almost a first down. C.J. Donaldson. His best carry so far.
It was. And this is the thing we're going to also talk about tonight. Ohio State's run game is advanced for college football. They do a lot of different stuff. And here they go 3 tight ends. They get real big, and they just overpower Ohio like you see. And that's going to be a problem for Ohio because they don't have the biggest defensive lineman in college football. So now you're not only dealing with the big Ohio State offensive line, but these big NFL blocking-like tight ends that also add to it.
Their defensive coordinator, John Hauser, when we talked to him this week, Chris, he was really impressed with the Ohio State run schemes. Talked about him quite a bit. Right back to the run. Peoples finds a gap off the right side. And that's a first down. Ohio State back-to-back runs. He gets 10 right there. Bobcat defense, unfortunately for them, middle linebacker, Ohio native, leading tackler Jack Freeze has an injury tonight. He will not be playing. Cameron Hollabaugh gets the start in his place. Keep your eye on the safeties. DJ Walker and Adonis Williams are both captains. They're only captains on that side.
Kind of the keys to the game, the 2 safeties, in my opinion, Paul. Adonis Williams Jr. and DJ Walker, because their ability to disguise, get down late in the box to help out in the run game, get back in coverage. They got their work cut out for them tonight.
Fake to Donaldson, Sayin. On the money. First down, Buckeyes. First time he finds his tight end, that's Max Clare, the former Purdue player. They're waiting for him to take off.
I love the play call. We just saw smash mouth running football. Again, we got 2 tight ends here, right? You're going to see right there. It's going to be a little play action fake. Ohio's thinking, man, they're going to run it at us again. Julian Sayin comes up, puts the ball right on the money.
20 consecutive games, at least 1 catch for Clare. He was excellent at Purdue last year, and a lot of excitement for what he might do for the Buckeye offense. First-year offensive coordinator and play caller, familiar name and face here at Ohio State. That is Brian Hartline. He is still coaching wide receivers. First time calling plays. Sayin, chased, gets rid of it. Big hit right when James Peoples caught the ball. Well done, Adonis Williams, one of those senior safeties.
Hey, this is a play here. I love the play call. Double play action pass, right back to back. He's got Jeremiah Smith right here. He gets a little pressure and doesn't get a chance to let him see run behind the safety. So then he checks it down to Peoples, but he's got to be aware of throwing it up to number 4. If he's one-on-one, just give him a chance because he's going to come down with it.
Second down long now. Peoples remains the tailback. He gets the call. Little bit of space up the middle. Gets out to the 36-yard line, picks up 3. So Brian Hartline, he's been the offensive coordinator here before 1 season, Chris, but he didn't call plays. This is new for him to be heading up the wide receiver group and calling plays. He takes over for Chip Kelly.
It's a unique story. It's really cool. I mean, NFL receiver, he loves working with the receivers and developing them as people and as players. But he was egged on to, hey, push yourself. I think you can do this. And he's got a great feel so far, and he's been off to a great start through 2 games.
See what he dials up here on 3rd and 5. Pass, blitz coming. Quick throw, Jeremiah Smith. First down, Buckeyes. His 3rd catch of the evening. This one gets 8.
Well, again, here it's 3rd and 5, but they're too scared of the speed of Ohio State running by them, so they give cushions to the receivers. And Jeremiah Smith, if you get off him 7 or 8 yards, I'm sorry, Julian Sayin's going to throw it to him all day, and we're going to be saying this a lot.
Defensive coordinator John Hauser told us during the week, Chris, we usually say we stop the run first, but we know all their threats are outside. We got to be worried about the pass first. Sayin right back to the air, right back to Smith. And they were on him right away, but his 4th catch gets him 5 yards. There was about 3 times we were talking to people in the facility this week, Chris, where we'd bring up Jeremiah Smith and they'd say, hardest worker in the building.
Which is always great to hear. Because when you're the most talented guy and then you're also the hardest worker in the building, that's when superstardom can come about. And it looks like we're on that way here with Jeremiah Smith. Of course, he's already a superstar in college, but in the NFL one day as well. He's as freaky as they come, and they'll echo those sentiments here at Ohio State. They've never had a guy like this, and that's saying something here at this school.
At that position, incredible. Still only in his 2nd year. Couple of flags down here now on 2nd down.
Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's the right guard, Segra Shabola. 2nd-year starter at that spot.
There's 77 right there. Little flinch. Ohio State's come out, Paul, shifting and moving a lot. I think they know that this is a really well-coached Ohio defense. They're very sound. They rarely mess up. And I think their way to kind of get them to communicate and maybe get them out of position a little bit is, again, seeing these motions and shifts we've seen so much through the first 2 series.
Had a nice mix of the run and the pass so far. They drove all the way down on their first drive, but got held on 4th and goal. Donaldson cuts it back. Confusion there before the snap. Picks up only 2 to bring up 3rd down. And we're talking to Julian Sayin about throwing to Jeremiah Smith. He smiled and said, okay, yeah, he's fast and he's big, but he's got incredible range. I put it anywhere near him and he gets it.
I've been fortunate enough to play with a few guys like that in my college and NFL career, and there's nothing better as a quarterback, because when in doubt, just throw to that guy, and more times than not, he will make a play if you're in trouble under pressure with the blitz or something of that nature.
Sayin only had 1 incompletion last week. He's off to that kind of start tonight.
Here he is up here. What are they going to do to cover? Are they going to help with the safety, or are they going to leave him man-to-man?
He's 7 out of 8. Well protected. Sideline. Finds another tight end, Furman. And that's not going to be enough for a first. He gets 6. It's going to be 4th and 1 or 2 here, Chris. What do you say?
Well, they're going to kick it. So I'm cheating. I saw them run off the sideline. I wouldn't have had a problem if they went for it. I understand that, but I think here it's early in the game. Get some momentum going. Don't let Ohio just continue to believe that they're going to hang all day long. I think this is the right decision.
Hey, Jaden Fielding, maybe they wanted to get him some work, Chris. They've been so good at scoring touchdowns, at least last week. Hasn't attempted a field goal yet this year.
There's something to be said about that, Paul. In the big picture, these are needed reps.
His first one of the season from 38 yards out. Snap and hold are good, and so too is the field goal. Took a little while for the Buckeyes, the team that scored 70 points last week, but they're on the board against in-state rival Ohio. 2nd drive pays off for Julian Sayin and the Buckeye offense. They're on the board, up 3 late in the 1st quarter in Columbus. Sunday night, J.J. McCarthy makes his Sunday Night Football debut at home when the Vikings play host to Michael Penix Jr. and the Falcons. Sunday evening, 7 o'clock Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Impressive by J.J. McCarthy in the finish on Monday night. We'll see what he has on Sunday. Here's what we have in Columbus. #1 Ohio State with a rare visit from in-state rival Ohio on top 3-0. Jaden Fielding just made a 38-yard field goal. Beautiful night for football. It's been awesome in Columbus, walking around the town, the buzz and the hustle and bustle picking up as the morning turned into afternoon and into evening. Rain stayed away. Nice night of football here at the Horseshoe. Let's take a look at what Julian Sayin saw in that last third down play.
Right, he's been a machine so far, but here's a play again where I believe he's got Jeremiah Smith. You're going to see the corner squat, and there's a big hole here. And Julian Sayin, who's been a machine to this point in 2 games, here's 2 reads early on in the football game. He's on the wrong side of the field there. He should have been playing up top, and now you can see Ryan Day's like, hey, I believe he just said it was too high, which means it was too high safeties. You should be working the other side. But it's not easy playing quarterback all the time, and sometimes you make mistakes.
Ryan Day told us yesterday, hey, the games are feedback for us, the best feedback we can get. Just sharing that feedback with him on the sideline. Parker Navarro only 1 out of 2 for 1 yard so far. Little planned rollout. And now he's 1 for 3. That ball knocked down to the last minute by linebacker Arvell Reese. So the Ohio State defense, a whole lot of change. In fact, the entire defensive line is brand new. They had 8 players get drafted. There is experience in the back end, and that man is brand new too. You recognize him from the Patriots sidelines, Matt Patricia, the new defensive coordinator.
Here we go. I mean, we got 5 guys here. Looks like they might blitz. Parker Navarro's trying to figure it out. These are the games Ohio State plays before the snap.
Bangura, nothing up the middle. And Navarro will be in a tough spot against this defense. No gain, and that's 3rd and long.
They've basically called Ohio's bluff on 1st and 2nd down so far. They've had 5 guys at the line of scrimmage every time. I think basically saying we're not going to let you run the ball, and we're not that scared of your receivers on the outside. We believe our guys can play them man-to-man. And that's what we've seen a pretty steady dose of here. 3rd down's a little different, and this is where Matt Patricia gets very creative.
And Parker Navarro told us this week, Chris, he said Ohio State's defense is best at that cat and mouse game before the snap.
Yes, they are.
A lot of good disguising.
And there's Arvell Reese, so watch him. He's going to watch Parker Navarro.
Third and 10. Little shovel pass to a tight end. He's got work to do, and he won't get there. Nowhere close. Needed 10. He got 2. And on comes the punt team for Ohio. And Parker Navarro, Mr. Everything for this Bobcat offense, is holding his left hand.
He does the little shovel pass, and I don't know if he hits it on somebody or does he land weird after. Oh, he just took a shot to his wrist, his arm. Good thing it's his left hand. But yeah, I'm sure that bothered him.
And they don't have a lot of transfers on defense, but Bo Atkinson is in after playing at North Carolina. He put that big hit on him. Not a good punt. Brandon Innes will have a chance. Well, he called fair catch. And they'll start on the 35. 15 seconds left here in the first quarter. So Ohio hanging in there, Chris, and I guess it's no real surprise. They almost beat Rutgers in Piscataway and just knocked off West Virginia. Holding their own so far.
They are. They've done the right thing. I think it's been the right approach on both sides of the ball. They're patient with the run game so far, even though, hey, we sit here and go, well, they're not getting any success. They have to do that. 1, to slow down the game a little bit so their defense can rest. 2, they know they're outmatched a little bit with what Ohio State and their personnel on that side of the ball. Defensively, they're trying to find the balance of, hey, we got extra guys down there to stop the run, but we're keeping some guys back to not let the big pass happen down the field.
Ohio State outgaining them 122-11 right now. Tate, this will be a first and then some. Carnell Tate inside of Ohio territory.
And here is the thing we're going to continue to see to be an issue for D coordinator John Hauser. It's a little bit of what I'm saying. You saw a blitz. They sent somebody off the edge, and now they're outnumbered in space, and these Ohio State receivers make some plays.
3rd time Ohio State has been inside of Ohio territory. In the first quarter, they have 1 field goal to show for it. Number 1 ranked Ohio State hosting the MAC champions, the Ohio Bobcats. And we head to the second quarter with Ohio State moving the ball and leading by 3. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by T-Mobile. Beautiful shot there inside the horseshoe here in Columbus. Number 1, Ohio State leading Ohio as we're set for the second quarter. 3-0. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Paul Burmeister alongside Chris Sims, or Stevenson with us as well. Ohio's hanging in there, only down 3 to the top-ranked Buckeyes. Your top takeaways from Ohio State so far?
Well, I like Ohio's game plan, I do. But Ohio State, yes, they've blown some opportunities. We saw Julian Sand miss a wide-open guy in the flat that should have been a touchdown. We saw him get yelled at by Ryan Day on a 3rd down for not throwing the ball to Jeremiah Smith. So good things for Ohio, but Ohio State will play sharper as we go here.
The Buckeyes certainly moving the ball. They have over 100 yards more total offense than the Bobcats, but only 3 points. And there's the major concern for Ohio right now. Parker Navarro was holding his left hand after that last failed 3rd down. He took a big hit. Good to see him warming up. He is as good a player as there is in the MAC conference, leads the MAC in total offense. And if Ohio's going to keep this close and make a run, they need number 13.
He's their biggest playmaker. He's the guy that gives the defensive coordinator a headache. Quarterback design runs, the extension of plays. I'm glad it's his left hand. This kid's a baller. He's tough. He's going to be okay. He's going to shake it off, especially with it being his left hand.
I know you were excited to watch freshman quarterback Julian Sand. 9 out of 10 for $126.
That's right. And again, you see the quality of the football. For the most part, he knows where to go. We saw the 2 mistakes, but again, it's early in his career.
It's nice to say Bo Jackson is in a tailback, Chris. No relation, but they are excited about the freshman from Cleveland, although he gets only 1 right there.
He does jump out. Watching him last week against Grambling, you looked at him, and the first time he came on the field, I was like, wait, who is this guy? That looked a little different when he was running. Oh, my gosh, he's that big, and he runs like that? I can see maybe why his parents named him Bo Jackson.
Went for over 100 yards late in the second half against Grambling State last week.
Just broke some big runs. He's 6 foot, right around 220 as a freshman, and as we all know, he's only going to get bigger and stronger.
Top target for Julian Sand, no surprise. All-American Jeremiah Smith, 4 catches for 66 yards. Empty backfield. Good protection, goes to the 3rd option, and that's that is Carnell Tate. Nice run after the catch. He picks up 9.
That was very nice by Julian Sands. Yeah. You see how he can work the pocket. You said it right, Paul. He went to his third option. He looked up at the top of the screen first, went 1-2, I don't like it. And then he sees Carnell Tate on the other side of the field. Full field read, very patient. Again, the mechanics, very like little wasted motion you see. It is efficient. It gets out of his hand quick. And they're taking him out right now for...
Hey, Julian Sands out of the game right now.
Just a little package here, I think, early on to make one of these young guys feel good.
Lincoln Kleinholtz, third-year quarterback. Oh, big hit just as he got the first down. And no flag coming in.
Lincoln's a specimen himself, though. I can see why they want to get him out here in some of those situations.
Oh, there is a flag. Flag down to the 9-yard line.
The results of the play is a first down. After the play, personal foul, late hit, offense number 77. It's a 15-yard penalty from the succeeding spot. It's first down. During the play, number 12 of the defense's helmet came off. He must come out for one play.
So you see 77 Shabola leading up through the hole there. I'm guessing it was just whistle blew. He continued to block a guy. I didn't see it. He's kind of the right of our screen. That's him right there. Or maybe he was even farther to the right of the screen there. But offensive linemen, yeah, they get greedy. They want to dominate somebody, and sometimes they go till too long after the whistle had already been blown.
So Lincoln Kleinholtz takes one snap. Does a nice job on the run. Penalty brings it back. See if number 3 makes his way back in here.
I mean, we got 3 tight ends again. Power football. This is rare stuff for modern-day college football.
And they go power game left side. Oh, Jackson's got a chance. Oh! Tripped up at the last second. DJ Walker just got him.
Wow. I mean, DJ Walker saved the day there. But you see the 2 tight ends here, and then right here we got another one as the third, acting as the fullback. They're going to run a little just outside zone to the left, and nobody can get off of blocks. They just totally engulf the Ohio defensive line, and there you saw Bo Jackson, the speed and the explosiveness through the hole.
So the Buckeyes have been moving the ball up and down the field, except when they get inside the red zone. They've had 4 plays so far for 0 yards. First and 10. Sayan wants to throw back. Does. Short completion just inside the 15-yard line. Pick up 5 yards. Will Kazmarek, the former Ohio Bobcat, his first catch against the former team. Tank Pearson, good tackle.
They were hoping to get them in some sort of aggressive defense, get everybody downfield, and then you sneak the tight end out late, and nobody accounts for him. But Ohio was playing zone defense there.
Buckeyes have been rotating all 3 running backs in, Jackson, Peoples, and Donaldson. And this is the former West Virginia Mountaineer, C.J. Donaldson. Up the middle, inside the 5, hammers his way down to the 3. Adonis Williams finally made the tackle, but that's a gain of 11.
Again, I'm enjoying the smash mouth football. You're going to see the pulling offensive lineman here to your left, and they're going to go and open up a huge hole. Shabola, or that was not Shabola there. That was Onianwa, who makes a nice kick-out block. And then you see Donaldson get through the hole there. But this is the one element of their offense they haven't felt has clicked yet, and they're trying to get it going tonight.
3 years in West Virginia, 2,000-yard rusher there. He's the big back for the Buckeyes. Fake it. Say it. Chased and lost that one in the direction of Jeremiah Smith. Didn't have a chance.
Again, they're hoping to get a man-to-man type of look here. Right, the play is for Tate. They're hoping man-to-man, these crossers, and then somebody gets picked off. That's what they're hoping for. But Ohio does a good job of passing everybody off. And then there was pressure on Sayan, and he had to throw it away.
Yeah, maybe had Innis early. Ryan Day loves working with quarterbacks. He was initially a quarterback coach.
Yeah.
Hired by Urban Meyer when he arrives here, and obviously has moved up in the responsibilities, but loves developing those guys. Gives to Donaldson. Stood up and dropped. What a tackle by the Bobcats. Adonis Williams.
Well, we've talked about the two safeties for Ohio. They're going to have a good game. You're going to see him right here in the middle of your screen. And he is the down in the box. I'm trying to clear it. There it goes. He is the down in the box tackling safety. One of the more underrated players on this defense. Gets low, gets underneath the pads of Donaldson, lifts him up, brings him down.
Ohio State's been here before with 3rd and goal inside the 5 and didn't score a touchdown.
Well, you're going to see something to him right here, one-on-one. I just have a hard time they're going to try to run the ball again.
Yep, you're right. Fade pass. Smith. Incomplete. You had the right call, Chris, but the coverage was good from St. Pearson.
It was good. And you know, I think Julian Sands got to get it up just a hair quicker. But there was a chance here. Another good play by Ohio and the DBs getting their hands in. This is the second time today we've seen Tank Pearson be there, get his left hand in, knock the ball out.
That's a 5'9" corner doing that against the physical Smith. You heard the smattering of oohs there. That's because the field goal unit is on. Jaden Fielding 1 for 1 from 38 yards out. And this a chip shot from 20. Jaden Fielding is 2 for 2. And Ohio is also 2 for 2 and keeping the Buckeyes out of the end zone when they had it 1st and goal. 6-0 Buckeyes on top. Hey, fun part of this history, last time Ohio and Ohio State got together here 15 years ago, this was totally unexpected. And it's Rufus the Bobcat seeking out Brutus Buckeye and taking him down. He wasn't done. A little wrestling there, then he came back swinging. He has said after the fact he was only the mascot so he could take down Brutus. A lot of anticipation for these two to get back together. Fun scene here in the break that we'll play for you after this. This one much more friendly, and this one also was planned out. A couple of field goals for Ohio State just inside of 10 minutes here in the first half, and Ohio doing a nice job. Only down 6. Okay, 15 years later, people around here have been waiting for this, and this just happened in the break. Crowd was going nuts. It was a WWE scene. Thought there might be swings and blows, Chris, but it was a tug of war.
Tug of war. I feel like we're going to see skits all night long, so we'll keep the fans updated. But right now, it's Rufus 1, Brutus 1, and the stadium's loving it.
Hey, right now, Ohio needs this offense. Yeah, 1-1 on that score. The big scoreboard says 6-0 Ohio State. Ohio, the best offense in the MAC, only has 11 total yards. Nick Polis, backup quarterback in the game for the first time. And backup running back Duncan Brune in. Yeah, thinking about the Ohio quarterback situation, let's check in with Zora.
Well, Paul, Parker Navarro still engaged in this game, standing up on the sideline, holding his helmet. He spent some time in the medical tent, got some meds from the medical staff, and then I just saw him like holding that left palm, and he was fidgeting with it, open and closing it a lot.
Zora, thank you. Nick Polis throws his first pass complete to Max Rodarte. Let's take a look back at what happened to Navarro on the previous series.
Yeah, let's check it out one more time. It's right after he does this, and you're going to see the hit to the body there. And, of course, it's the left hand wrist. You heard from Zora, it sounds like it's the left hand, that he just doesn't feel like, I guess he could grip the ball and protect it right now.
So Nick Polis is in. He made one start last year against Kentucky in a 41-6 loss. So third and short, they try it up the middle and got nothing. That brand new defensive line and also the veteran linebacker Sonny Styles, loss of 1.
They're not going to make a living doing that, right? They just want to keep Ohio State honest and having to worry about the running game just so they can't play pass coverage all the time.
Hey, they might go for it. Fourth and a long one in their own territory.
Yeah, this is an interesting call here, especially with the backup quarterback in.
Yeah, Polis had not played yet this season against the #1 team on their own 33.
There's no way Ohio State's going to let them run the ball here with all the guys at the line of scrimmage. Receivers are one-on-one on the outside.
Wow. Go for the throw. Little cutback. I think they got it. Courageous call, Chase Hendricks. Top receiver in the MAC got 2, and that's just enough. Wow.
Really good play design here. That's the big thing by Brian Smith, head coach. You see the motion, right? That backs the man-to-man corner off because he's afraid he's going to cross the formation. So within that, it creates space. They say set Hud at the right time, and now when he breaks out, the corner is too worried about going across the field. He's backed off, and an easy completion, a nice throw there by Polos.
Nick Polis' second season on campus. He transferred from El Camino College. First action of this year. Up the middle. Duncan Broom from Germany, their second back to Bangura, picks up 3. Sonny Styles once again was there, along with Arvell Reese.
One of the problems for Ohio is they're not super explosive on the offensive side of the ball. So they know that they got to run the ball a little bit to maybe hopefully get Ohio State into man-to-man and keep them that to where they can run pick plays and rub plays to get guys open.
Being outgained right now 201-25. Well, he's 2 for 2. And go ahead and make it 3 for 3. Nick Polis in for the injured Parker Navarro. Just with a 5-yard connection. Found his tight end Mason Williams, Jake Bruno. And now they're 3rd and 3. Matt Patricia, first-year defensive coordinator. See what he dials up.
We called Chase Hendricks' name once, right? 3rd down, you would think this is the down they could get him the ball. He's going to be in the slot here to the bottom of your screen. But Matty Patricia's from New England. They usually take away your best guy. You can see right here, he's man-to-man. Will they go to him? I bet so.
Had 17 catches in 2 games already. Polis looking that way, nowhere close. Pass rush forced an errant throw.
Ran a little combination down here to the bottom of the screen, just a slant flat combination. Honestly, I think you'll see it, and you're going to agree that he probably should have thrown the ball to Chase Hendricks. He didn't, but here's Parker Navarro trying to figure out what to do. This is probably killing him that he can't be out here in the biggest game of the year for them.
Interesting, Chris. They just went for it on 4th and 2 and got it, and now they face it again, and now they'll punt it away.
A little surprising. But I think they're happy with that they shifted field position too, Paul. That's a big part of it.
Fair catch by Ennis, and they'll begin just inside the 25-yard line. 2 field goals for the Buckeyes, and number 1 Ohio State leads by 6. A little past halfway through the second quarter. Big Ten Saturday is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. And by Ford Blue Cruise, hands-free highway driving. Beautiful evening here in the Horseshoe. Not a lot of points. South-ranked Buckeyes on top of Ohio, 6-0. Chris, I'm looking at the stats. How do you make sense of this? They've got over 200 yards of total offense, but only 6 points.
Ben, don't break. They've won the situational matchups in this game. The 3rd down, the 4th down, the other 3rd down and down here. And that's why they're still in this football game.
Saying, nice pocket. Bo Jackson, a little check down, makes one miss. And that's a nice play on 1st down, just enough for a first.
Ohio plays coverage. They're worried about the big play down the field. That's the smart thing by saying, don't force it. You got a lot of good athletes. Throw the ball underneath. See if they can break a tackle, make a play after the catch like we saw there. 1st down.
And saying Chris has thrown it awfully well until they get to the red zone. He's 11 for 11 in the rest of the field. Jeremiah Smith already 4 catches, deep drop. Intermediate, wide open Smith. Just inside of Bobcat territory. Tank Pearson makes the tackle. It's a gain of 17.
Well, we've talked to the Ohio coaches on the defensive staff, right? There was one where they played run defense. So now it's man-to-man on the outside. And he runs a deep 20-yard curl route. Julian Sayin is patient and throws it on the money.
Smith has 5 catches already. Running game gets him inside the 45-yard line. You get that kind of cushion and the quarterback is that well protected. That is as pitch and catch as you're going to get.
That's right. When you can run like a Jeremiah Smith, that's the ultimate weapon of scaring the defense and the DB. I can run by you for a touchdown. So therefore, anybody that covers a man-to-man is always in a back pedal, always worried about him going deep. I played with an ex-Ohio State guy like that in Joey Galloway. Always scared of him going deep. Then he'd hit the brakes, and it was the easiest 20-yard throw I'd ever had to make.
Scared of him going deep all the way to the end of his career. Saying to throw again. Deep drop. Flag comes in. And Julian will keep that one himself. Down to the 42, and we'll check in on the flag. Would be a gain of 3. Cameron Hollaball with the stop. And a late flag, a couple of late flags. A skirmish down here on the 40-yard line.
The first one's going to be holding, I'm pretty sure. They called a play to be aggressive and throw the ball down the field and take a shot. Ohio was playing zone defense. They were deep. There was nothing there. And that's what led to saying scrambling.
And a little bit to sort through here for the Big Ten crew, led by referee Brian Banks. First penalty came early, and then a couple of flags after the play.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense, number 15. That 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run with an automatic first down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Offense number 4. Also after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Offense number 8. Those two penalties offset after the 15-yard penalty for the hands to the face. It's first down.
Yeah, so you see right there. There's Lukeman. He's got the hands all over the face, of course, so that was an easy one. And then after the play, we got some jawing. And there's Jeremiah Smith, who's like, no, don't say that to me or my friends. And then, of course, all of this goes crazy. How dare you?
It's going to happen in football sometimes, right?
That's right.
A lot of talking back there.
100%.
All right, so the end result, Ohio State moving way up inside the 30 now, looking for that elusive first touchdown of the night. Bo Jackson. Not touched till he got to the second level. Freshman running back gets 9.
Bo Jackson catches my eye. I don't know any other way to say it, but when he gets the ball, he, to me, feels like he hits the hole faster than any of the running backs here on this football team. I know it's early. They're all impressive. I'm certainly not trying to say anything negative, but I'm very impressed by the freshmen so far.
Yeah, a lot of focus on that position, Chris, with Henderson and Judkins, second-round picks to the NFL. So, in a way, open tryouts for these talented backs to step up and prove they are the two, or in the top 2, to get the carries in the Big Ten season. And now it's James Peoples. Not as much off the right side. Michael Molnar from Ohio, big game for him. The linebacker with the stop, gain of 1.
Because their offensive running game is schematically pretty advanced, I think that's part of the reason we haven't seen them just totally click or hit on all cylinders the first 2 weeks. There's a lot of nuance to it. And you saw there was a little mess up with the 2 pullers. One of them took the wrong guy. And that's where it'll take time, but it's going to pay off with how creative their run game is at the end of the day.
So Brian Hartline, he's calling the plays now for this Buckeye offense that's gone up and down the field, but has stalled each time they've gotten inside the 20.
Right. Ohio back at 2 safeties deep.
Saying in rhythm, but way over the head of Smith.
So, here's the funny little story. That was the play we showed before when he got yelled at by Jason Day. So now what's the overcorrection? Well, he was open the first time. I'm going to force it to him because coach yelled at me. I didn't throw it. This time, the corner on the bottom of the screen here, you could see Michael Mack. He gets back and plays it the right way. So that's sometimes the things you got to go through as a quarterback. Just because it was open the first time and the coach yelled at you, don't just think it's automatically going to be open the second time.
Young quarterbacks more likely to do that than the upperclassmen.
Exactly.
The freshman just in his 3rd start. 3rd and long. Saying. Sliding, now tries the right, end zone, touchdown Buckeyes! Max Clare, his first touchdown at Ohio State.
You're going to see the blitz come off the bottom of the screen here, right? And you're going to see guys drop that way, too, in coverage. So it's a creative little defense, as you see. And the play is not there for what Julian Sayin originally wanted. He buys time, and great job keeping his eyes downfield, and a great throw on the run in the back of the end zone.
Looked like his eyes were up that entire time he was sliding and evading.
He's a pocket quarterback. And that's what I like about him, and I think that's why they've made him the starter here, and they're excited about him.
19-year-old looked like a veteran on that play. Off to a 14 out of 18 start, and Ohio State now has a touchdown. It belongs to the former Boilermaker, Max Clare. Buckeyes lead is now 13. Yeah, let's take a look at our upcoming schedule presented by Liberty Mutual. Next Saturday at NBC and on Peacock. Maryland, Wisconsin, that's at noon Eastern. Purdue at number 8 Notre Dame, that's at 3:30. And then Big Ten Saturday night, excellent matchup. Number 9 Illinois and number 22 Indiana. 7:30 Eastern. It's all happening on NBC and Peacock next week. So Parker Navarro left earlier in the second quarter with an injured left hand. Took a big hit from Bo Atkinson. He did not look like a quarterback ready to come in right there.
Definitely doesn't look like he's coming back at all. It's a shame. I'm hurt. I'm heartbroken. I really am. I wanted to see him play and see him make a few plays here. He was just starting to really get comfortable, and of course he's out now.
Okay, you saw Navarro standing on the sideline. Here's exactly why he was standing there with his helmet off. This happened earlier in the second quarter, Chris.
Yeah, a little shovel pass on third down. This angle really shows it. You can see the helmet directly hit the hand of Parker Navarro. And it is his left hand, but also you got to keep into account, like, yeah, can he take a snap? Can he hand the ball off? Is he going to be able to protect the ball in the pocket with that left hand, even though he's a righty? And obviously he doesn't. They don't feel like he can do that right now.
Okay, so the backup quarterback, Nick Polis, remains the quarterback. Started one game last year, and this is his first action of the season here tonight. On the move, wants to throw back, in trouble, sacks at the 20. Loss of 4, Caden McDonald got it.
Well, here you're going to see, we got the tight end in motion, little play action. They're going to try to roll out to set something up down the field. Ohio State playing zone defense. They were all over it. There was nothing there. And then this is what you lose with no Parker Navarro. Polis is not going to be as athletic and be able to extend plays and run as much.
And that is exactly the point, Chris. He ran for over 1,000 yards last season, and it's really the best thing he does outside the pocket.
Yes, I mean, what they're working on, like you alluded to early in the podcast, is they want him to be better in the pocket. But I thought one of the advantages they had in this game tactically was, yeah, his scrambling's a pain in the butt, but when they do quarterback design runs, I thought that was one area they maybe had a leg up on Ohio State. As we always hear, when the quarterback runs the ball, right, you have the numbers advantage because now the running back can block for you. And that was a nice little element of their offense that I thought would give Ohio State problems, but we're not going to see that anymore.
You're thinking about numbers advantage there, Chris. We just saw it. Ohio State with over 200 more yards of total offense already. Polis, flag comes down just as he handed off. And that'll cost him 5 yards.
False start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Left tackle Shedrick Rhodes.
This is tough for their offense. It's tough for Polis. It's tough for the whole football team. You got a new voice in the huddle. You're not used to his timing and rhythm and what he does at the line of scrimmage and how he communicates. And then, oh yeah, you're here at Ohio State with 105,000 fans. No big deal. So they're going to go through some bumps and bruises here right now as Polis gets comfortable.
Yeah, they played in front of 26,000 last week at home in that win against West Virginia.
I would like to see them go right here. This is the spot that they can hit this.
Polis, inaccurate toss and incomplete. And the clock stops, and if you're head coach Brian Smith now, take a look and see if he did catch this or not. Ruled incomplete.
Definitely a low throw like you talked about. Man, the hands look under it to me right there. What they can do with the slot there is the one thing I see so far to go. I think they could throw it to them a little bit more. I thought it was going to go down to the slot on the bottom with Chase Hendricks. Instead it goes up top. I do think that was a catch. And here we go.
Yeah, they'll take another look at this.
The ruling on the field of the incomplete pass is on the further review.
Reggie Smith is our rules analyst with us tonight. Reggie, we haven't had to bring you in yet, so hello, nice to have you with us. What do you see here on this catch, no catch?
I see the potential for the receiver's hands to be under this ball. However, I want to point out that the ball is allowed to touch the ground if it's being controlled by the receiver. Here it appears that there's control and that the ball does not appear to move after this. Whether this is going to be enough to overturn the ruling on the field remains to be questioned. To me, this is a catch.
And Chris, if your head coach, thank you, Reggie, head coach Brian Smith, who calls plays for Ohio, you could really use a first down because you've got the 2-minute timeout coming. Ohio State has 2 timeouts left. It's been a fairly close first half, but if they get it back and go up 20-0, it has a whole different feel.
Right. They're hanging in there. But in their perfect world right now, they just love to run out the clock, really. 13-0 would be good enough. Points, of course, would be let's have a celebration. Right? That's the big thing here. But it's 3rd and 20. If it stays incomplete, we're expecting, I agree with Reggie, it's going to be a completion. And we're going to have 3rd and 11. And again, that's still a tough spot for Polis to be in here, who hasn't had a lot of reps.
If they could get points, Chris, then you start to think about post-halftime, and Ohio does get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
They're a long way from points right now, though.
After review, the ruling on the field has changed to a completed pass. It will be 3rd down at the 22-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 2:22. Ohio State has elected to take their second timeout.
So it is a catch for Caleb Gossett. Hard strategy for Ohio now.
Well, Ohio now, they got to figure out, do they want to drop back and try to do something aggressive and trust this kid to make a throw down the field and get the first down? I would say, yes, you got to do that. You can't just go, all right, we're going to keep stringing the game along just so we can stay in it here. But, yeah, they're going to have to talk to him right now about what's the play you're most comfortable with. What do you feel best executing? And that's what they're going to have to figure out in this little huddle right now. I would think they go for this here. I mean, as far as being aggressive, try to throw the ball down the field. The problem is that guy right there. The mad scientist, Matt Patricia, on 3rd down. There's no telling what you're going to get on defense right here. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, if you throw it and it's incomplete, Buckeyes basically get to stop the clock 3 times.
This is all going to change at the snap. Right now it looks like this. And now they get a flinch, and we're going to get a false start. We're going to be back to 3rd and longer.
False start. Offense number 51. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Davion Witherspoon, the left guard there. But as you see, again, that's where all the movement happens. You see Witherspoon right here. There he is right there. You're going to see, but you see that there's linebackers at the line of scrimmage. They're moving. Arvell Reese acts like he's going to blitz, and that's enough to make Witherspoon flinch a little bit.
3rd and 18.
Let's see what it's going to be here with this Ohio State defense. Will it stay the same or with a picture change?
Polis dropped. Sacked at the 8-yard line. Caden Curry got him for a loss of 9.
Here's an example. Look at this here. This is going to end up in Tampa 2 here. So you're going to see this guy go fly back to safety. This guy go here, let it run, and you're going to see, even though it looked like man-to-man, single safety, it ends up being a total different look, and that's why I'm excited about Ohio State and Matt Patricia and what he's doing on that side of the ball. Ohio State up 13-0. We'll be back after the break.
Xfinity halftime report. Joshua Perry, who do you want to put on blast this week?
Well, I think I'm going special teams. Granted, some of it was special,
yes.
A lot of it was not.
Okay, we'll take a look at that and plus much more coming up on the halftime report.
Ahmed Joshua, thank you. And Jeremiah Smith, the All-American receiver, for the first time today will have a chance on special teams like they were talking about, standing on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Nice punt.
He's going to have a chance.
Got to pick it back up. Flag comes in just before Smith goes down. Nice punt by Magnus Haynes, by the way. Good job bringing Smith down.
Crushed it. That was one of those where, you know, the ball bounces, you go, oh, that's going to give him more room. That could be scary. And I think we were all up here going, uh-oh, he's like one shoelace tackle away from breaking that right there.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 6. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's first down, Ohio State.
Here's what the Buckeyes offensively have done so far. Smith has been big already with 5 catches for 83. But they got to 4th and goal from inside the 5. Ohio defense turned it over on downs. Couple of field goals after long drives. And just late in the second quarter, Julian Sayin to Max Clare for their 1 touchdown.
They've been very good, efficient on offense, running the ball as good as they've run all year so far. Julian Sayin's been very good, other than 2 or 3 of those plays that stopped the drive. Other than that, he's almost been perfect.
See what the freshman has here. 1 timeout to use. Nice pocket, dumps it off to Smith, his 6th catch, trying to get out of bounds, and does so. Picks up 5.
Well, that was our play again. That was our play that he got yelled at. Now they're going, wait, they're going to drop back and take away that deep out route. So let's put Jeremiah Smith underneath, because that's more likely where the ball go. We'll get him. He could get some yards after the catch. He got out of bounds, which was amazing in itself. And here they are in 2nd and 5.
Good spot for Ryan Day and Brian Hartline to evaluate their young quarterback here.
Definitely. Hasn't had these opportunities a whole lot in his young career.
Back-to-back throws. Peoples out of the backfield. He's got the first, did not get out of bounds.
So it's okay. They don't need to get out of bounds. There's plenty of time. It's college football. We know the clock stops, why they do the chains here. In their perfect world, they want to go down and score with no time, right? Score a touchdown with 3 or 4 seconds left.
Still got that timeout in his pocket. Sayin, ball was tipped and picked. Ohio with the INT. Michael Mack gives it back to the Bobcat offense.
Well, it's just a little right over the ball curl route by the tight end. And you can see Nehemiah Dukes gets a tip on the ball, does a great job of reading the eyes of the quarterback. He knows I'm not going to get there to him. So Sayin's trying to throw it to Clare. Nehemiah Dukes gets the big hand up there, and they get the interception, and they got some life here, Paul.
I would say, Chris, a gift from the defense to the offense. They set up on the Ohio State 40-yard line. Quarterback remains Nick Polis. Bangura, nothing there off the right side, a good spin. And he got a couple there. Our 3 timeouts, your strategy here.
Yeah, well, they're going to stay here. They want to go faster, but they don't want to go too fast either. Again, like I just talked about a minute ago with Ohio State, they want to score with no time left. They don't want to let Ohio State's offense back on the field here. So it's a controlled hurry-up offense.
2nd down 8. Polis looking. Penalty down as he just fired that one away to avoid the sack.
Got 2 flags down here, Paul.
Bo Atkins was chasing Polis there in the backfield.
I've liked Bo Atkins so far. He's the helmet that hit Parker Navarro.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 1. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Well, it's one of those cases. You talked about Bo Atkinson. He did a good job. But then Polis, who extends the play just a little longer. Oh, this wasn't even that. This was holding right from the get-go. Right off the line of scrimmage. Igbenanson clearly holds.
Oh, the top wide receiver, he wears number 7. Hendricks has 1 catch. They go to the ground game up the middle. Maybe playing for a field goal now.
Igbenanson. I just want to get that out of my mouth right. I'm sorry.
The most experienced corner there for Ohio State. Timeout. The Ohio State hat.
It'll be 30 seconds in length. Please reset the game clock to 37 seconds. 3-7.
What a change this could be for Brian Smith, the head coach for Ohio, as Ryan Day does not like the end of this half, but they're thinking about, okay, let's just keep...
Correction, please reset the game clock to 38 seconds. 38 seconds. Thank you.
Ohio State with the ball and driving. Let's keep them out of the end zone.
Right.
Now a chance for points.
Ohio State's played really well, other than in the red zone, and of course just getting a little unlucky there with the tip pass interception. But Ohio here with 2 timeouts, as we've talked about, clock stops after a first down, and they set the chains. They're in a good spot here. Now, it's just how much do they trust the young quarterback to maybe take a shot or be aggressive? And so far, right, Ohio State's got a good job of mixing up coverages to where they can't get the right play called when it's man-to-man to maybe take a shot down the field.
Ohio comes in as the MAC champions, almost beat Rutgers opening night, knocked off West Virginia last weekend.
You see here, I mean, it's a shell defense, so they're not going to let anything deep behind them.
Bolus, good pocket this time. Oh, what a hit! Jalen McClain separated the ball from Max Rodarte.
Well, playing a cover 4 type of defense there, where he's got that area, he's got nobody to push him down the field, and he just drives downhill and just absolutely crushes Rodarte.
My goodness. Okay, giant hit, so they're going to take a look and see if it's targeting. We heard from Reggie Smith a moment ago. As we watch this a couple of times here, Reggie, watch it along with us and tell us what you see.
Well, as we're watching this play, it's important to remind everyone of the rule that he is a defenseless receiver. That means the contact does not have to be with the crown of the helmet. Any forceful contact to the head-neck area will be enough to constitute targeting. As we're looking,
Reggie, what I'm looking at, Reggie, was that to the neck or the shoulder?
Well, it appears that that the defender does a good job at getting his head to the side. And this could be shoulder to the chest area.
Yeah.
So this may not be enough to create targeting in this case. Probably best to uphold the ruling on the field of the no call for targeting and leave the player in the game.
It looked like Jalen McClain was conscious of not dropping that head, Reggie.
Yes, he does a very good job.
No targeting is upheld. 3rd down.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right?
There shouldn't be targeting there. I mean, Reggie explained it right. This coaching staff teaches these guys the right way. And I thought he did a very good job of trying to keep his head out of it, hit the shoulder there. Hey, it's football. It ain't band camp. Every now and then, people are going to get hit hard.
If they have to go field goal, Brock Peacock got along with 41 yards. That came last year when he kicked at Incarnate Word. This is 3rd down and 9.
They got the 3-down look, but it's going to change when he snaps the ball. They're going to drop into a different coverage.
4-man rush, quarterback draw. Nice tackle there before he got to the 25.
Let the clock go down. Well, they took a timeout.
That's your 2nd and a half. Only 30 seconds in length.
Okay, good tackle, Arvell Reese, one of the new starting linebackers.
I don't know why you would call the timeout right there. Why would you, now we're going to, I mean, unless they're going to go for it and they want to get their best play. But if they're going to kick a field goal right here, why would you want to give Ohio State possibly 28 seconds to throw a deep ball to Jeremiah Smith or a Tate down the field?
And most of these teams have this so well practiced. We saw Georgia Tech knock off Clemson earlier today with the exact same situation, no timeouts. Ran on, the entire operation was clean, and that's how they won the game.
They're kicking the field goal.
Yeah.
So what they should have done is let the clock go down to about 5 seconds and then called the timeout and done this. Now you're in risk, you're in danger of you make it, and Ohio State might get 1 or 2 plays to get themselves in field position.
Peacock, a career long of 41 yards, this from 44 out. He's 1 for 2 so far this year. Peacock gets the Bobcats on the board. Defense, the offense for Brian Smith. The pick leads to the field goal.
Nice snap, nice spot. Hit is solid. Had a few yards to spare there. Good for Ohio. Ohio is, like we talked about, won some situations that have kept them in the game, and then the big turnover keeps it to 10 points, and if they can keep it at 10 points, they're going to go into the halftime going, hey, we're at the Horseshoe. we can hang with these guys.
Yeah.
They're going to have a little belief. The problem is Ohio State might go in and be really mad and be like, hey, wait a second. We're only up by 10 against Ohio. How dare that? How could that happen?
First points given up by the Ohio State defense outside of the fourth quarter so far this season. Coming in number 2 in the nation in scoring defense. Only the touchdown given up to Texas in a game they won. Hey, remember what Brian Smith told us earlier this week? The pressure is on Ohio State. They not only have to win every game, they have to win a certain way. Let's play free and embrace that.
I like that attitude. I think it's the right approach. I do. I like Brian Smith's attitude there. He's right. Ohio State, they're being held to a standard. Their alumni base, the national media, all of us, we all expect them to be great.
Ennis will let that one bounce. Scoots it up. Down at the 10.
Well executed by Ohio right there. That was the best possible outcome. Now, I was afraid that ball might bounce to the left and go out of bounds, and then you give them the ball at the 40-yard line. But really good idea. Really well done by special teams to kick the ball there. And now you got the ball at the 11-yard line, and I think that's going to Ohio State maybe runs a draw here to see if they can break a big run to call a timeout, something like that, or a screen. But I don't think they're going to try to attack downfield.
Good look there at the head coach, first-year head coach for Ohio, Brian Smith. Nobody wants to be down 10 at halftime, but you're a MAC team playing at number 1. Not so bad for the Bobcats halfway through. The Buckeyes will just take a knee. Couple of field goals and a touchdown pass from Sayin to Claire. And that's how Ryan Day and his top-ranked Buckeyes have this 10-point lead headed to the halftime locker room. And Parker Navarro, injured in that second quarter, looked like it was to the left hand, left arm area, and haven't seen him since. Zora Stevenson with Ohio State head coach Ryan Day.
Coach, your quarterback has an interception, also has a touchdown. How do you coach him up?
Well, I think, we just, the tail of the half is not getting touchdowns in a red zone. We got to capitalize, we get down there, and we haven't done that, so that's why the scoreboard looks the way it does.
What led to the strong start defensively, though?
I mean, I think we're playing hard on defense, and it's not defense is not the issue right now. We just got to score touchdowns again in the red zone. That's the bottom line.
Thanks, Coach.
Zora, coach, thank you. Ryan Day nailed it. First time they had the ball, they had first and goal inside the 10. It came away with no points. It kind of set the tone. Halftime in Columbus. Ohio State leads 13-3.
Welcome to the Xfinity Halftime Report.
Not a whole lot of scoring in that first half for Ohio State, but Joshua Perry, they're hitting.
Boom! Oh, so you know what they say. Football's supposed to hurt. This one looked like it hurt.
Oh, did it ever?
And it was clean, too. No targeting on that after further review. 13-3 is the score at the break. This is the Xfinity Halftime Report. That is Joshua Perry. I'm Ahmed Fareed, Matt Castle, and Nicole Auerbach. I don't want to say, is this a I told you so moment, because I think a lot of people know Ohio won the MAC last year, 11 games, but only a 10-point spread at the half.
I mean, we talked about it in the pregame.
Yeah.
Great MAC teams make you earn everything. They're not just going to give it away. The problem for Ohio State isn't anything too glaring, and I know fans are going to sit there and say we're not up by enough. I sat in that seat in the locker room. I've heard it all. They just haven't scored in the red zone. They got to end some of these drives with touchdowns. They scored field goals. They haven't finished drives off. That's going to be the big key there. But the defense is playing well. They're moving the ball. They just have to finish.
And that's exactly it, because they've outgained Ohio 278 yards to 28.
Yeah.
Defense is playing really well. You feel good about what Julian Sainz doing. He's making good decisions. He had the one interception. It's a tip ball. That happens. That shouldn't even go on the stat book, in my opinion, for any QB.
Tend to agree.
But at the end of the day, they're playing well, and like you said, they just got to finish these drives in the end zone.
And then Ohio's starting quarterback gets knocked out. We don't know if he's going to come back in this game. And so, that contributes to the 28 total yards, 100%. Of course. But, yeah, I mean, the defense is doing everything that we expected it to do under Matt Patricia. It's really just about the offense finishing the drives because, again, we're seeing them move the ball pretty easily.
Yeah. And again, credit goes to Ohio for getting stops in the red zone, for forcing Ohio State to kick field goals. We said it was going to be a pretty tough battle, and here we are.
Devil's advocate, of course, yes, you're outgaining Ohio by over 200 yards, but that is a huge part of the game, figuring out ways to punch it in and complete drives with touchdown. For Ohio State, is there at least something a little bit to worry about in that situation?
Not to worry about. They're going to go in at halftime. What we always do is we sit there, we make our halftime adjustments, and they'll concentrate on, look, this is what they're doing in the red zone. And what you saw a little bit down there when they got in the passing situations, Ohio was getting into that drop 8 coverage, and so it was forcing them to have to run around and make decisions, but more people in coverage.
I will say, though, if it stays close, then you're going to get tight. Then you're going to feel that pressure if you're Ohio State.
No matter what happens so far, Brack Peacock, the kicker for Ohio, is our player of the game. That is not an NIL deal. That is the man's actual name. The only point so far for Ohio. Time for the college football reset. Brought to you by Xfinity. What we like to do here is keep you up to date on everything that's happening around college football in the SEC. Georgia, 8 straight wins over Tennessee. Tennessee a chance to win at the end of regulation. No good.
Oh, and this is Max Gilbert. I mean, he's from Tennessee. You know he wanted to win it, but unfortunately he didn't get it done in that situation.
So they go to overtime after the missed 43-yard field goal. Josh McCray in for the score. Georgia wins again.
It just breaks Tennessee's heart. I mean, this was a game that they played so well. They were in a position to win, but Georgia once again takes the victory away. What is that, 9 straight?
9 straight. Now, they don't want to be reminded of that. Backyard brawl time, Pitt and West Virginia. West Virginia forcing overtime, final seconds. This is Ty Edwards punching it in from 1 yard out.
I mean, I got to tell you, this game got extremely weird. But this is what happens in rivalry games. And you can see here just the amount of emotion when this game ends. It is one of the most exciting things about watching college football.
We didn't have time to show Rich Rod's post-game comments. Try to find them out there. They're pretty electric. USF, Miami. USF already 2 ranked wins this season, but Miami might be too much to handle for them.
And I don't think they were surprised by this. They were not going to sneak up on the Hurricanes after what they've done the last 2 weeks. This is about what we expected from Miami.
Mark Fletcher with the 38-yard score in that one. SEC matchup here, Florida versus number 3, LSU.
Let's get a little tough.
I like to see that. They are fired up. They're ready to go. Florida Gator fans like to see this one as well.
Well, you think they like to see it, but then you get a penalty here. Takes a score off the board. Florida can't have that type of situation happen to them.
All right, so that one close, low scoring at this moment. We also have one to show you here. This one, Nicole, is a shocker. Old Dominion up 28 on Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Brent Pry is finding new ways to lose, and it's not looking good. He's looking like he might be the first coach fired this year.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that is a shocker in this one. But of all the games that we just showed you there, Joshua, Florida, I know that you have said this. They lost last week. They did not look good. Florida's still going to have something to say in the SEC.
I mean, at least in this scenario they are. Nicole and I have talked about this, but after watching Clemson and LSU over the last couple of weeks, it felt like LSU would be gettable. None of them have looked great.
No, none of them look great. And then all of a sudden, you've got a team in Florida that's hungry, that's fighting for their coach. We saw them do it last year. They were a resilient group. I think they're going to have their hands full. I'm saying LSU today.
And they did it to LSU last year, too.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, all right, a little history between those squads as well. Low-scoring first half in our game. Julian Sainz got some yards. They've run the ball okay. They just have not done enough of that, according to Coach Day. We do not have enough time to show you all the games that happened on this Saturday, but thankfully we have John Fanta to do that work. John Fanta, good to see you. Time for Fanta in 60.
It's great to see you guys, too, on this high-urgency Saturday. It meant a lot for Dabo Swinney and Clemson. Thought to be a national title contender heading into the season. Trying to avoid 1-2 for the first time since 2014. Little razzle-dazzle. Yellow Jackets pull up the Philly special. This was a 2-point conversion. And then Aiden Burr sends everybody home. Georgia Tech, they look like a playoff dark horse. They take down Clemson out to Tuscaloosa. Alabama handled business today. Ryan Williams, get out of the way. The juke of the day. And Bama rolls. Wisconsin will try to bounce back against Maryland next Saturday on NBC. Oregon and Northwestern. Dante Moore to Kenyon Sadiq. Guys, is it a hot take to think that Oregon can win it all and nobody in the country is talking about them as that type of team? We'll see the Ducks on NBC in Happy Valley 2 weeks from tonight. Central Michigan and Michigan. Bryce Underwood. This guy is a stud. Close to 350 yards of offense by himself. Poggi, your thoughts?
Actually be Batman.
Yeah, he is the Dark Knight. He gets it done in a variety of ways. Towson and Maryland to close it out. And we're showing you this because Lakai Rowland with a house call. 100 yards. Terps roll. We'll see them against Wisconsin in their Big Ten opener on NBC as part of a triple header next Saturday.
Maryland's turned into a really exciting team to watch in the Big Ten. John Fanta, thank you very much. So of interest to Ohio State fans, there's some teams they might see the college football playoff. We saw Georgia earlier get the win. We saw Oregon there get the win in Evansville. So what about Alabama, Nicole? Are they back in the picture now?
It feels like they righted their ship a bit, doesn't it? I mean, I know Matt was really excited about what he saw from Ty Simpson, but like Ryan Williams back, you know, he is someone who you need to have that type of production, 5 catches, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, this is closer to the Alabama we thought we were going to see with offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb coming back. It feels very different, I think, in Tuscaloosa than it did 2 weeks ago.
And that's the big thing. For them to go out and perform at home against Wisconsin was really important, not only for this team, the confidence moving forward, but for that entire environment. You know how they take their football seriously down there in the South. Well, that's really important that they got
Absolutely. No offense to your former defensive coordinator, Luke Fickell, though. Is Wisconsin the best barometer for Alabama right now?
I think it was a pretty good barometer. Here's the thing that Wisconsin brought was the physicality that Alabama lacked when they played Florida State. Alabama was able to match the physicality for the most part. The only thing where they lacked was the run game. That's my big question for them still.
You have the pulse of the Ohio State fan as a national champion. What are they thinking about that team up north right now and their freshman quarterback in Bryce Underwood?
Well, Bryce Underwood showed that he has some legs today. He had 114 rush yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's going to be the big question. Will they continue to run him?
All right, you got to always keep one eye on that team up north. That is the rule for any. I don't need to tell you guys that.
Yeah.
We're back to the game crew after this short break.
Here at the Horseshoe, we've got Rufus and Brutus going at it, this time in a friendly way, unlike 15 years ago. Drone show at halftime on a gorgeous night. One half in the books. Top-ranked Ohio State leads 13-3. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Paul Burmeister alongside Chris Sims. This Buckeye offense that scored 70 points last week has 1 touchdown. Ohio defense needs some credit.
Definitely. Ohio's defense is held strong in the red zone, like we heard Ryan Day say at the end of halftime. So that's been the impressive thing, right? Ohio State has run the ball well. That's a positive thing. But 4th and goal, we saw this earlier. Jalen Sayin had a guy open in the flat for an easy touchdown. He passed that up. Here's where he gets yelled at by Ryan Day because he played the wrong side of the field. They don't convert a 3rd and 8. They have to settle for a field goal. Here's another 3rd and goal. Nice play by Ohio to knock the ball out of Jeremiah Smith's hand, and then we get Nehemiah Dukes with the tip and then the interception, and that's how Ohio has hung around, and credit to them so far.
And they only have 3 points because their offense only has 28 total yards. So Ohio State's winning. They expected to be, but you know they expect more in the second half. Any kind of adjustments you're looking for?
I don't think they need to adjust much. I think they just need to execute in the red zone better. I mean, we've been talking about they've been moving the ball up and down the field at will. It's just a matter of punching it in and playing a little bit better down there. I'm sure that's what Ryan Day yelled at all of them for at halftime. So I expect those adjustments to be made.
As for the Ohio quarterback, he leads the MAC conference in total offense. That's Parker Navarro. Haven't seen him since the big hits in the second quarter. He only has 5 yards of total offense. The Bobcats set for the 3rd quarter. It'll start with Ohio State up 10.
This has been the Xfinity Halftime Report.
This first half recap is brought to you by Geico.
Stand back, give me room. I'm doing my thing.
It's about
my thing. I'm doing my thing. My thing.
Get more with Geico. And let's take a look at the Big Ten Bulletin brought to you by Ford. Blue Crews halftime in Columbus. Number 1 Ohio State leads by 10. Quarterback Julian Sayin, Big Ten Freshman of the Week coming in, only 1 incompletion last week. Solid numbers here again tonight. Did have that interception late second quarter. Jeremiah Smith, of course, has been his main man. 6 catches, almost to 100 yards already. The Ohio defense, though, they have had some major wins early in the game. A big stop on 4th and goal. The late pick just before halftime. And the Buckeyes have only 13 points. Head coach is back at it here. Ryan Smith on the left, first-year head coach for Ohio. And Ryan Day, the Buckeyes, that look on his face, likely not too happy with his 10-point cushion.
Definitely not. I'm sure there was some yelling and some coaching and get everybody on track in the halftime. But I expect them to bounce back here. The big question is going to be Parker Navarro. Is he going to be out here playing? Because Ohio can't make any plays, I don't feel like, unless Parker Navarro does it.
Yeah, you said that. That's on all of our minds when it comes to the Ohio offense. With that in mind, here is Zora Stevenson.
Well, guys, of course, my very first question to Ohio head coach Brian Smith was, will we see Parker Navarro here in this second half? He said there's a very good chance, and he even went on to say there's a very good chance that he could start this third quarter. And coach is really encouraged by what he's seeing from his guys. He says they're playing with energy, they're playing hard. We just have to get something going offensively. There he is out there.
Hey, Zora, good one. Good heads up. You noticed he was out there, and that's the story. Only 5 yards of total offense in that first half. So he's out there. How much more effective will he be? Keeps it. He's going to get 5 on this one carry. Good start for the Bobcats. Pick up 7.
Nice job there right off the bat. Little read option. He sees Caleb Downs coming off the edge. And he goes, wait, I don't want to give it to that guy. I'm going to keep it. They're aggressive. And you can see the speed. I mean, Caleb Downs is a top 20 pick in the NFL draft. And Navarro still got 8 yards around the corner.
The longest play in the first half was only 6 yards. They top it right there with 7. Navarro lets one go. And he's got it. And they got a chance. Chase Hendricks. Touchdown, Ohio! "67 yards, Navarro to Hendricks. Chase Hendricks had 1 catch for 3 yards in the first half. What a start for the Bobcats to start this third quarter. Outran some pretty fast Buckeyes there.
Well, when he's back at quarterback, they felt good coming out of the locker room.
A doink. Remains 13-9. Parker Navarro provides the spark they had to have. 2 plays and a touchdown.
Well, they got Chase Hendricks the ball like we had talked about. You're going to see man-to-man. Nice little motion, and it's like basically an inside slot fade. And it amounts to a one-on-one play down the field against Lorenzo Styles, who's in good position. And it wasn't the greatest throw by Parker Navarro. But Chase Hendricks made a great adjustment getting the ball. And then, of course, the big play after the catch to score the touchdown. But Navarro's got good feel in the pocket. He can flick it down the field. You could see, I mean, it wasn't wide open. The coverage was pretty good. But when you're in a man-to-man situation and you got a good receiver like Chase Hendricks, you trust him. And Navarro brings energy to this football team. And I guarantee when that sideline knew he was playing in the second half, they were like, all right, we got a chance here. We're only down 10.
Yeah, their two big players showed up early here in the second half. Navarro leads the conference in passing yards. Hendricks, #1 receiving yards. Fair catch. Buckeyes up 4 will begin on the 25.
Incredible. I mean, we haven't seen Ohio do anything on offense. Literally nothing. And then just to come out and go, hey, I'm going to run around the left edge for 8 yards, you know, with a bad left hand. And then the next play, I'm just going to, you know, no big deal, throw a big touchdown pass to Chase Hendricks. Incredible turn of events, and we got, you know, Jalen Sand and this Ohio State offense with a little pressure on them for the first time all night.
Yeah, Ohio 28 total yards in the first half. 2 plays, 75 yards there. Now they got to play some defense. Bo Jackson gets the start at tailback in the third quarter. He had the most rushing yards in the first half. Up the middle. That's a good start for the Buckeyes. And here he goes. Bo Jackson. I'll see your 67-yard touchdown.
This kid's a player. He's a player. Like, incredible response by Ohio State to answer the bell right off the bat. They just get guys on guys. A man-to-man double. Let's just push them back and let Bo Jackson figure out where the hole is. And again, as I said earlier, Paul, he, to me, hits the hole better than anybody they got. He might not be the fastest for 80-yard touchdowns, but from the line of scrimmage to about the 20-yard mark, he is extremely explosive and powerful.
Top-ranked running back in the state of Ohio last year, the true freshman. A home run hitter at back. First down and 10, almost on the 10-yard line. Donaldson is now the running back. Whistles just as he got the handoff from Sam.
I think Day called a timeout.
Play game.
Nope, I was wrong.
5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Yeah, red zone is where they had issues in the first half, and again, the look on Ryan Day's face will tell you that.
That's where I saw Ryan Day running down to the official, so I thought maybe he had got it here. But you see him on the bottom of the screen. We got some people running down there, but clearly a violation. Easy call for the refs.
Freshman quarterback. Back them up 5, 1st and 15. Donaldson. They closed that up right when he passed the 15-yard line.
What happens in plays like that with the delay of game a little bit is, you know, everybody's celebrating. We're not sure what play we want to run yet. People are running on and off the field, and all of a sudden the quarterback goes, wait, I'm calling the play. Oh, wait, I didn't realize all this time had already gone off the clock, right? And that's a freshman mistake, like you said, Paul.
Again, the game is feedback for Ryan Day, and there's some feedback right there.
These are great reps for a young quarterback. It doesn't get any better than this right here to learn with live bullets all around.
Top receiver Jeremiah Smith is wide to his right. Looks that way, bumps. Jumps it off to Smith. Checked it down, only got 3. Tank Pearson made the stop, and it's third down.
Again, John Hauser, the Ohio defense, they're very sound down here. They don't get out of position. They tried to give the old okey doke. Hey, we're going to throw the screen out to Jeremiah Smith. Everybody bite up on it, and then we're going to hit Carnell Tate behind you for a touchdown. Ohio defense didn't take the cheese, and then that's where you saw Sayin have to buy some time and ultimately find a little completion.
Huge moment here for the Bobcat defense, Chris. Their offense just had a big-time touchdown. If they stop them here, a field goal keeps it a one-score game.
Empty backfield.
Sayin in trouble. Still looking. And again, checks it down. And fighting his way for the touchdown. Tailback C.J. Donaldson fought his way in.
This was a very good play by Sayin because there was nothing open. I'm not sure Donaldson didn't step out of bounds here before he gets in the end zone. I want to check this out here. Little option out route. You can see he's not there. He's not the original person on the play. Did he step out right there with that right foot? And they're going to review it right now.
The previous play is on the further review.
Watching it live, Paul, I thought he steps out right there, right?
Well, you're on it.
My eyes, I'm 45, so they're still pretty good.
We can always call in Reggie Smith, and Reggie, feel free to be a part of this, but I think we just saw the evidence right there. That foot looked on the line.
Absolutely. His right foot's out of bounds. The ball appears to be at the 3. This should be overturned, 4th down.
I'd take another look. Everybody looking there up at the big screen, including head coach for Ohio, Brian Smith, but it looks to be pretty clear here, Chris.
Yeah, it does. It was a good defense called by John Hauser on the defensive side of the ball. There wasn't much there. Sayin did the right thing and buying time. We've seen him make a few plays on the run outside the pocket, making some throws here, but yeah, ultimately I think we're going to have a 4th and goal from about the 4-yard line here.
And it was a 4th and goal on their first drive where Ohio turned them over on downs, and that's a good look at it right there.
Even though he stepped out, it was still a really good play by Donaldson.
Yes, it was.
Right? We got to give him that, because Ohio certainly didn't know he stepped out. They were playing, and he still drove everybody into the end zone after the catch.
Referee Brian Banks is just wrapped up taking a look, and here's the call.
After review, the runner stepped out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Okay, decision time now. It's 13-9. You can go up 16-9 with a field goal, and it looks like that's the route they're going.
They're going to kick the field goal. I agree with this. You're not going to win the game right now with a touchdown. The game's a little dicey. Ohio's feeling good about themselves. Take back some of the momentum. Your offense just had a good drive. Build on that. I don't think Ohio's going to make a living of throwing jump balls to Chase Hendricks for touchdowns every drive, so I think this is the right call.
Red zone offensive struggles continue for Ohio State. 38-yard field goal and a 20-yard field goal already tonight for Jaden Fielding. This from 22 yards out. So he's a clean 3 for 3. And we've had action already in the 3rd quarter. A touchdown to Ohio and a field goal for the Buckeyes. We've got a 7-point game. Gorgeous evening here in Columbus, defending national champs against defending conference champs, and we've got a game early in the 3rd quarter. Ohio State only up by 7. Parker Navarro was on the bench much of the 2nd quarter with an injury, and his team struggled. He came back to start the 3rd quarter, and things felt a lot different.
A lot different. You felt it, I feel like, on their sideline when he just ran out on the football field. Like, oh, gosh, our guy's here. he's going to make some plays for us. We saw how much of a struggle it was on the offensive side of the ball. He is by far their biggest playmaker, and that's why they need him here against Ohio State.
And lifted everybody's spirits and lifted the execution in the 2 plays he was in. Ohio State just kicked their 3rd field goal to push that lead up to 7. And the Bobcats will begin this drive from the 25. As for that last drive, it didn't take too long.
Hey, nothing like get back out in the game. Oh, just run read option on Caleb Downs. He's only the best safety in college football. No big deal. But turns the corner, gets 8 yards. Very next play, they get Ohio State in man-to-man. They find the matchup they want with Chase Hendricks. He does a great job adjusting the ball, and then an even better job after the catch.
They created hope with their first couple of games coming off the conference championship. Tied 31-all with Rutgers late in that one. They eventually lost by 3. And last weekend at home, knocked off West Virginia. See if they can keep the momentum going here.
I would be shocked to see Ohio State play man-to-man on this drive much.
Fake to Bangura. Hendricks again, good catch. And he gets 7 to get this one started. Let's go back down to Zora.
It was one guy after another congratulating Chase Hendricks after that last touchdown, celebrating with him. When I talked to Hendricks earlier this week, he told me, you mark this game on your calendar. A chance to show you can compete with those guys. You got to perform when the time comes. He got a chance, and he met the moment.
As Zora, after a really quiet first half, we only had 1 catch. We do have an injured Buckeye on the field. It is nickelback Lorenzo Styles, the former Notre Dame wide receiver and starter in the secondary. Back to Columbus right after this. The voice is back with Snoop, Bublé, Nile, and Reba. So get ready for some big voice energy. A brand new season of The Voice begins September 22nd on NBC and Peacock. Injured Buckeye defender just before the break, nickelback Lorenzo Styles, playing in his 50th college game, started at Notre Dame, made his way to Ohio State. His father played here. Brother starts at linebacker, and that's him moments ago walking off the field. Attention to his right side. Bryce West, sophomore, checks in for Styles. Second down 3. Navarro Keeps it, and he'll get the first. He's provided quite a spark here. Caleb Downs made the stop. Chains move.
Nice play. That's what he brings alive, the RPO game, where he can read defenders, keep the ball off the edge, and now he has a run-pass option to do whatever there. And, of course, Ohio State covers people in the back end. That gives him a little lane for some yardage there. Nice play by Parker Navarro.
Yeah, 2 games in, averaging 90 rushing yards per game, Chris, so they lean on that quite a bit. Plenty of time on the play clock. Gives it the last second. The Buckeyes were ready. Loss of 2.
They're so disciplined. That's what's amazing. If you see that, you'll see on this replay here, they show cover 2, cover 2, cover 2. He checks to another play, and then just as he claps again this last time to get the ball, the safety comes down, and it becomes a run defense. And that's where Matt Patricia and the Ohio State defense is next level. You can see there, and again, you got to trust me, somebody off the left side there was also coming. But they never give you the same look pre-snap as post-snap, and that's hard on the quarterback.
Kenyatta Jackson, one of the 4 new starters on that D-line, coming down that line to make that play. 2nd and long. Navarro in trouble. Can't escape. Back-to-back negative plays. That one lost 3. Arvell Reese from his linebacker spot came in.
They're incredible. We talked about their rush lane integrity. I know from my days working in New England or knowing Matty Patricia, they are very conscious of scrambling quarterbacks to the point of they're not going to let a guy win the game that way. They're going to have a plan. They don't rush upfield, and they do a good job there keeping their eyes on Parker Navarro.
Ohio didn't convert a single 3rd down in the first half.
You're going to see our spy right there.
Need to get to the 47. 4-man rush, spins out. Lets it go, knockdown. Arvell Reese again made that play. Carried into the end zone. Called a touchdown for Kenyatta Jackson.
This is a pass that was knocked down. But
with a touchdown.
All right.
Okay, that's not even close.
No, please, come on. We got to be better than that.
Okay.
Either way, you see the play there.
After further discussion, the ruling on field is an incomplete pass. It's 4th down at the 35-yard line.
Now you see, look at Arvell Reese, right? This is what we have talked about all night. New England, Bill Belichick is famous for, we're not going to let the offense do what they're best at doing, right? One thing we've seen is very limited production until that one pass play to Chase Hendricks. The second thing is yeah, they're not going to let him be outside the play and make all these backyard magical plays that we've had so much fun watching all week, preparing for Ohio and Ohio State. So that's where it's a really brilliant approach there, and Arvell Reese has got a great feel of not getting too close to the quarterback, reading it, and then being there as soon as the quarterback breaks the pocket.
Buckeye defense comes up with the stop. Nice punt from Haynes. And it is from the 13. And is still rolling. The captain wide receiver. A burst across the 40-yard line. And a boost for Julian Sayin and the Buckeye offense when they come back on the field, leading by 7.
Hey, Ohio State won the national championship last year, and this is an area I think they're going to be even better at this year. The run game, the different schemes. You see the outside zone. Now we got 2 pulling offensive linemen. Boom, 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 smash mouth football. That is get off the ball, go downhill. We're going to have double teams everywhere, and let one of our freaky running backs pick the hole. In this case here, it's Bo Jackson. I know they're not national championship team yet, but with what they're doing on defense and their run game under Ryan Day and Brian Hartline, I'm really, in some ways, almost more excited about watching Ohio State this year than I was last year, if that sounds crazy, Paul.
Yeah, some people may think so. Crazy number there for the rushing game. Ohio State out-rushing them 146-14. Peoples gets the start on this drive and doesn't find much up the middle. Bo Jackson was over 100 yards last week. He's got 97 now. And Peoples picks up a yard.
I think they're going to they have a young quarterback. They like their run scheme. I think they're going to continue to work on this. Why, Paul? Because it's like later in the year, it's going to be like, pick your poison. Do you want to stop the run, or do you want to double Jeremiah Smith? And that's when they'll be their utmost, or their most dangerous as they can be.
2nd down 9. Swing it out of the backfield. Carnell Tate, nice cut and a burst. Just enough for an Ohio State first down. He picks up 10. And Julian Sayin continues his efficient play. He's at 79%, Chris. He came in #1 in the nation in completion percentage at 79, and it's exactly where he is tonight.
He knows the offense. You can see that. He's very decisive. He works the pocket. We talked about his quarterback mechanics. I mean, being on the field with him in pregame a little bit too, it's a perfect spiral, and it's one accurate throw after another, and that's why he's the starting quarterback right now.
Goes from a 3rd-string quarterback in a Chip Kelly system last year. This is actually, they need a yard to get the first, and Ryan Day's hammer, he calls him. They get it to put him deeper inside Ohio territory. We're still thinking about the freshman quarterback, Julian Sayin. And let's go down to Zora.
Well, Coach Day told us that Julian Sayin always had it in his mind that he was going to be a big-time quarterback, and his confidence screams, this is who I'm supposed to be. Sayin started actually working with a quarterback coach when he was 12, and he's trained for these moments since he was a kid.
Hey, looks like he's been out there a bunch, but it's only his 3rd start. 1st and 10, Peoples the tailback, Tate in motion. Well protected, takes a shot deep. Smith, touchdown, Buckeyes!
Well, when you throw a big pass down the field like this, what's the first thing that's got to be done? The quarterback's got to have a little time to let the receiver go down the field so he can let it loose. Then they get Ohio finally in a defense that are worried about stopping the run. A deep crosser underneath with Jeremiah Smith over the top, and a beautiful, beautiful thrown football by Sayin.
And he told us yesterday when we sat down and the extra point is up and in, he said, if I get it close to this guy, he's going to be the one to come down with it. And that one gave him his 7th career 100-yard game and 2nd in a row. The All-American gives the Buckeyes a little breathing room here in the 3rd quarter.
John Fanta checking in with a game break over on NBC and streaming right here on Peacock. Top 20 showdown between Texas A&M and Notre Dame. This is Le'Veon Moss, his third touchdown of the half. Aggies with over 300 yards of offense. They're up on the Irish, but the Irish driving late in the second quarter.
Hey, John, thank you. Up by 4, 300 yards of total offense in South Bend.
I'm shocked by that. Mike Elko, defensive coach, that Notre Dame defense, all that. Come on, Notre Dame, win the game. I'm a Longhorn. You know I can't root for the Aggies. Come on.
I kind of thought you might eventually get your way to that.
Okay. I scared you for a second, didn't I?
Jeremiah Smith just went up top for a big touchdown to put Ohio State up 14. And now Parker Navarro, who's had a couple really big moments in this third quarter, needs some more now. And down 14.
Need a drive. Need to chew a little clock just to let your defense rest for a second, make some adjustments. But they certainly have, they feel like they've got a little energy. I'm going to be interested, like I said, I think a little bit ago, is just after getting burned in man-to-man, I don't think Ohio State's going to do that much. They're not going to, they haven't seen Ohio really drive yet, other than that play. So they're going to make them drive. I don't think they're going to give them one-on-one opportunities down the field very often.
Nickelback Lorenzo Styles went out earlier with an injury, just came out of the tent. He wears number 3. We'll see if he makes it back. Navarro, planned rollout to the right. And he just throws that one away, bring up second down and 10. A late flag, late penalty came in. That was well after the ball sailed out of bounds.
There is no foul for an eligible player downfield as the passer is throwing the ball away. Second down.
Okay, second down. So you've seen a familiar face on the sideline there. Matt Patricia, longtime assistant in New England for Bill Belichick, took last year off. Told us yesterday really thought about his why. Was chasing a Super Bowl or bust forever. Said he wanted to get back to teaching young men and the joy he finds in that. And he had a great ease and happiness to him. They run up the middle, not much there. They pick up a couple to bring third down. You were on the staff with him in New England. Did you recognize that joy as well?
I definitely did. It's hard working in New England. They were who they were because of they grind, they work harder than anybody. Their coaching staff and their organization outcompetes some people to the point where I think what he was saying is like, we win the Super Bowl and the day after was like, the celebration's over, let's go on to next year. And I think he's finding joy back here at Ohio State.
See what he dials up here, third down and 9. Bobcats 0 for 7 on third down. Plenty of time on the play clock.
Yeah, Ohio State acting like they're going to play man and show pressure. I doubt it'll be that.
And they bring 4. Slant. The catch and the run for the first. Caleb Gossett. Let's go down to Zora, gain of 17.
Well, guys, Matt Patricia was also talking to us about how cool this experience is for his kids. He mentioned the college game day traditions and how fun it has been to see it through young people's eyes. We saw the joy on his face as he entered the stadium this evening with his daughter. He said sharing these moments with his kid is really how he started to get his love back for the game.
Zora, thank you. He smiled a lot throughout our meeting with him yesterday.
Definitely did. The most I've seen him smile in a long time.
Caleb Gossett keeps this drive alive for Ohio. Navarro hands off up the middle. They haven't found much going there. They get a couple. It's the backup running back, Duncan Brune. I also asked him why the field instead of the box. He kind of laughed. He said, it's all I've ever done. I see it pretty well, and I can have the kind of interaction I want from the field, too.
He's an expert, and he's seen a lot of football, and he's got a guy that needs to be in the booth to know what's going on the field. He's used to watching it from that vantage point, and he's a special coach, and he's made this defense better at Ohio State.
And now Ohio needs some big plays from Parker Navarro. Has a touchdown pass that came earlier in the third quarter. Try the handoff again, and he won't get to the edge. Caleb Downs, All-American safety, says, no, you don't, to bring up another third down.
That's where they're so tough, is because they play a 3-down front, and you go, well, it's only 3 D linemen. We should be able to run the football. Okay, well, both linebackers are 245, 250 pounds. Oh, and then you see Caleb Downs here, who's also here and going to come down and get involved as well. So they have athletes at all positions. They got size, and they're schematically annoying as well for an offense.
Third down. Three-man rush. Batted down. Caden Curry has showed up a bunch in the backfield, and he makes that play.
Caden Curry does a good job. He knows for the most part of the night that the ball's been coming out pretty quick. They haven't thrown many balls down the football field. So within that, you got to watch the quarterback. He's trying to hit Chase Hendricks here. And again, Ohio State, deceptive defense, got people dropping out, playing a zone. Hendricks might have been open there, but it did not look like even if he caught the ball, he was going to be able to get the first down.
44th career game, pretty easily the most experienced defensive lineman coming back for the Buckeyes. Brandon Innes. Fair catch on the 14-yard line. Buckeye defense getting on a bit of a roll. Caden Curry knocked it down on third down. They do their job. Buckeye offense back on the field next. Ohio had cut the deficit against the nation's top-ranked team to 4 in this third quarter, but Ohio State come alive both sides recently. They now lead by 14. And Jeremiah Smith, the sophomore All-American receiver, is having his best night of this young season. And plenty of game to go. He's already at a $139. Ohio State's last drive ended with his touchdown. Bo Jackson, the tailback. So quality wide receivers at Ohio State. That has a ring to it.
Yeah.
You go back the last 4 years, they've been amazing in the first round. Back in 22, they had a pair go in the first, and this has just continued. It's an annual thing. Smith and Jigba to the Seahawks, Marvin Harrison Jr. to Arizona. This past spring, Emeka Egbuka, first round to Tampa Bay. He had 2 touchdowns in his first outing last weekend, by the way. And Jeremiah Smith is on his way to be in the next. Saying, well protected, just swings it out of the backfield. And Jackson will try it from there. Strong finish for a Buckeye first. You take a receiver in the first, you expect production, Chris. You just saw the names. Here's what they all did in week 1.
It's incredible. It's really, I mean, this is incredible, this list here. Really, since I've been a young kid, they've been putting out wide receivers. Them and LSU are just on another level when it comes to that position in college football. But yes, the production, the players, the people they have, Brian Hartline deserves a lot of that credit for his ability to scout receivers and teach them as well.
Jet sweep, Bo Jackson over 100 yards rushing. Good job by Ohio to keep that to a gain of 6. Let's go back down to Zora.
Well, Jeremiah Smith will tell you he's a quiet guy, doesn't really say much. All about my work and business is how he put it to me, but everything changes when he steps on that field. He told me a switch flips for him. Smith said, I'm a different person. I start talking. I want to put on a show. Buckeye head coach Ryan Day said he is a coach's dream.
And when your best player is the hardest worker, I mean, that is the definition in any sport of a coach's dream. Saying deep drop. And again, checks it down and just missed his tight end, Kazmarek, that time.
Yeah, not a lot there. I think he threw a safe ball even to Kazmarek there as well, because if he catches it, he's probably going to get hit right upon catching the football. So smart decision there. I think one thing that's jumped out to me here that I would just like to say is, do you feel like they're starting to go Bo Jackson here? Like I feel like he's carved out a way in his offense where we're going to see a lot more and more of this guy going forward.
Well, Chris, to your point, he's got the most carries of the 3 backs they're using the most. And he also has 105 yards. 3rd down and 4. Sand, Tate, just enough for a Buckeye first.
The forgotten guy. The second receiver who's going to go on the 2nd day of the draft in the NFL next year. And another guy, Paul, I don't know about you, but I was just amazed. I don't know, Ohio State's uniform sometimes makes these guys look smaller on TV, but then I get to look at Cardell Tate and I go, oh my gosh, I can't get over the size of the guy. He's almost 6'4", he's 200 pounds. He's a specimen. And Brian Hartline, he compared to the T. Higgins from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, quite a compliment. Fake to Donaldson, saying over the middle, pretty strike. Smith again, ball came out, but he pounced back on it. It's his 9th catch, gets him 16.
This is why they're putting the money in the bank for the run game, though, because plays like you just saw there. Now they fake the run. The linebackers are up in the line of scrimmage, and now you got Tate and Smith working downfield with a ton of space, and that's when they're going to be extremely dangerous.
He just ran by him in the last drive. You see how much cushion he had as the 3rd quarter comes to a close here? Textbook. Jeremiah Smith, 9 catches for 153 yards, and the biggest play of the 3rd quarter, a touchdown for the Buckeyes. 1 quarter left. Ohio State in control of the Bobcats. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by T-Mobile. Cell phone lights were just on, flashing all over the stadium. Perfect weather night for this in-state rivalry. It's been close. Ohio was down only 4 earlier in the third quarter. Buckeye offense and defense came alive, though, as that quarter got longer. 1 quarter left, and they're up 14. No surprise, Bo Jackson with 100 yards rushing already is the tailback. Tries the right side. Nice work by the Bobcat defense to throw him for a loss of 1.
Ohio D still playing.
DJ Walker, most solo tackles for Ohio coming into this game.
He's the most impressive player on the Ohio defense, and you're going to see him down here. He's got good range in the back end, but he's a good tackler as well. Forced a fumble last week in the game against West Virginia. I liked him. We enjoyed talking to him this week as well. Very smart, understands what they're trying to do on that side of the ball.
Yeah, he was excited for this opportunity in Columbus. Saying, well protected, lets it go. Tate, touchdown, Buckeyes! "49 yards from Sayin to Carnell Tate.
And again, Paul, this is why you run the ball, because then this is what happens. You saw there, the safeties just go, I got to get down there. I got to help the run game. The coach is telling me on the sideline. Bo Jackson's been running up the middle, untouched. And then that, of course, leads to big plays over the top of these receivers.
Extra point is good. Carnell Tate now with a touchdown in each of the 3 games so far.
And they're in a what you call like a quarters defense, okay? But within a quarters defense, these guys, these safeties right here, sometimes don't go back. They kind of just look for crossers underneath, right? And you see there, safety takes the in cut underneath. That leaves the corner basically one-on-one with Carnell Tate. And Ohio State will take that matchup any day, anywhere.
Hey, how about the throw?
Perfect throw. The thing I like about Sayin and how he throws the deep ball too, he throws it high. He throws it high to let the wide receiver run under it and get it. DBs are DBs for a reason, because they don't play the ball very well. So they usually choke or stumble all over themselves when the ball's in the air. Plus it gives you some room for error, and the receiver a little room for error to judge the ball as it's coming down. Most great deep ball throwers, college, NFL, throughout history, throw the deep ball high in the air.
And Chris, you've mentioned what a pretty ball he throws, a spiral, and some people say, well, it doesn't matter. On a deep ball, if you can throw that tight spiral, it's more likely to get where you want it to go.
It drops out of the air perfectly, and spirals do matter. They cut through the wind better. They're easier to catch for wide receivers. Think about getting a wobbler that's really hard at you. Right. The ball can bounce off your hands. A spiral, the point of that ball goes right into your forehead, and it's very easy to focus on it and catch it, right?
All right, Parker Navarro. See if he can fire up some spirals. He also ran for 1,000 yards last year, so down 21 early in this fourth, little bit at a time. He had a couple moments early in the third quarter, the touchdown drive, but that's really offensively all they've had this entire night.
That's all it's been. That's why I keep saying I don't think Ohio State's going to play man-to-man anymore. They played one more time where I was wrong. On the third down they converted before. But why even give them the chance to throw some jump ball up and stay in the football game? Make them drive down the field. We haven't seen them do it yet.
And nothing up the middle. Bankura will try off the left side, and once again the Buckeyes are there. And that's a loss of 1. First-year head coach for Ohio, Brian Smith, 45 years old, first time he's ever been a head coach. Think about the 3-game chunk for them. They go to Rutgers and almost win. They lose by 3 late. They host West Virginia, beat them last week. They've represented themselves well here on the road against the #1 team in the country.
Really well. I mean, they could easily be coming in here 2-0, and they've competed today and stayed around this game and hung around a lot longer than I think a lot of us thought they would.
High expectations for that group. 3 consecutive double-digit win seasons coming off a MAC title. Navarro gives. Bankura little bit more that time, but still sets up a 3rd and long after a 4-yard gain. Sonny Styles, 31st start for him at linebacker, makes the stop.
Yeah, he's a good player. Kind of linebacker a Matt Patricia would like. New England back in those days, they liked the bigger type of linebacker, maybe not the fastest always, but a thumper who they could depend on in the run game and being physical over the middle of the field. They have that here with Reese and Styles, and I know Matt Patricia likes that.
Said he reminded him of Hightower and Collins from the Wayback Machine.
That's saying something.
In New England.
Because let me tell you, those were some big dudes.
3rd down and 8. Navarro, watch out. Torn down.
Man, Bo Atkinson. He's had a night.
Transfer from North Carolina. Matt Patricia doesn't have a lot of transfers on that side, but the former Tar Heel comes through.
I mean, it's just another guy that just looks the part. NFL looking. You're going to see him here on the right side. Excuse me, I'm a little late there. And then 6'6", long. NFL loves long pass rushers. You see he's got a little bend. He's got some explosiveness off the ball. They are just absolutely loaded here with guys they've developed at Ohio State.
Buckeyes had 3 sacks the first couple games. They have 4 tonight. Brandon Innes with the fair catch. Buckeyes getting into a rhythm. The defense comes through, and the offense has been coming back with big plays. 16.5 tackles for loss at North Carolina, and a big sack here in the 4th quarter tonight. Big Ten Saturday night next week, going to be a great one. Illinois, Indiana, 7 o'clock Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Here comes Saturday night, presented by Discover. Ohio State starting to pull away and looking like the top-ranked team against the defending MAC champions, up 21. Julian Sayin remains in the game. And a good start to this drive, finds his tight end, Will Kazmarek, who started his career at Ohio, and picks up 6.
Yeah, Kazmarek is an old-school tight end. Can block, right? Around 260 pounds. Everybody in football now wants, I want a pass-catching tight end and do that. Ohio State's kind of going the other way in college football with everybody in this spread. Hey, let's get a little power. Let's have some power run schemes. Let's get some big old school run blocking tight ends, because Merrick is very good at it.
And right now, Chris, they're all blocking for Bo Jackson, who's been the best tailback in this game tonight. Second consecutive time over 100 yards. Jackson, and just that early burst,
right?
Finds that top speed right away, moves the chains.
That's what it is. That's the way to say it. It's that early burst. He might not be 90 yards to the house fast, but with a running back, usually it's just your accelerations that's most important. Again, double pullers, I love that. Pin, kick one out. He makes the right cut. He puts his foot in the ground, drives the pile. I mean, he gets hit and he still gets 4 more yards. That's what you got to like about Bo Jackson, too. They're all good, but this kid really catches my eye.
Was at practice Thursday, was around the facility Friday. More than one person came up and was like, hey, keep your eye on Bo Jackson. Might be the guy. He's been the chosen back so far. Saying in trouble, barely got that one off, and it was intercepted.
Wow. Austin Mitchell, I think, got the interception off the tip pass, and it just, I think, fell in his belly, number 97.
Jay Crable had the rush that started that one, and it was Austin Mitchell.
They were taking a shot down the field again. And you saw there, they try to pull a guard with play action pass, and he doesn't get out there quick enough to block Crable, who then, of course, hits Sayin as he's throwing the ball. And then you just get a little unlucky there with the ball bouncing right into big guy Austin Mitchell's hands. Look at him. He's like, I've never had that happen. I got a pick against Ohio State.
They have had a couple home run balls connect in this half for long touchdown passes. Saying second pick of the night, Navarro. On the move, and that's where Ohio State's been excellent. They haven't let him create chaos outside the pocket.
They have not. And that would be a play here where stay in the pocket, Parker Navarro. You might have had a guy running right down the middle of the field if you just moved in the pocket and stayed a throwing position. That's the one flaw of Parker Navarro, and that's what they got to deal with. It's the good with the bad. He makes a lot of plays like that, but at times he leaves the pocket too early, and you go, there was a guy open, you could have hit him. So that's what they're dealing with a little bit with his talent.
Leading rusher for Ohio normally only has 3 rushing yards tonight. Up the middle. Oh, they have been consistently trying that, Chris, to no avail.
Yeah, it's all what we talked about. I don't know if it's the time anymore to be doing that, okay? I was a little surprised with how conservative they were last drive. And even there, right, it's time to throw. It's time to hurry up a little bit. Unless you're just comfortable with, hey, the scoreboard looks 30-9 and we'll lose like that. But I got the sense all week Ohio wants to come in here and try to win this football game, and the running game's just not going to get it done here late in the fourth quarter, or mid-fourth quarter.
3rd down and 10. Trouble with the snap. Now he's got to keep it. Seen that so many times tonight, Chris. He just throws it away to avoid a sack.
Yep. Snap came back a little hot, and he bobbled it, and then that throws everything out. I mean, Paul, you were a quarterback. You know when you bobble the ball and you got to look at the ball and then take your eyes off of coverage, when you look back up, you're just like, oh, gosh, where is everybody? It just seems like craziness. So, therefore, then he has to run out of the pocket and try to make something happen, and there was nothing there.
Eyes downfield. Normally it's the receiver taking his eyes off the ball.
Right.
Quarterback that time, they're going to go for it. Why not? Down 21, 4th down and 10. Got to hustle. They rush 3. Little push pass. Not going to happen. Lost control of the ball. Duncan Broom had a hard time hanging on to it. Gain of 4, but not nearly enough. Matt Patricia's defense turns it over on downs. Top-ranked Buckeyes lead by 21. Ryan Day started this season with the unique Ohio State challenges, and that was replacing 14 players that got drafted into the NFL in the spring. But you notice on the roster, we're not calling the names of players who transferred in from all different parts of the country. These are program kids rising up through the ranks. He told us yesterday when we brought this up, he said it's hard to sustain a culture if you bring in too many transfers.
I feel like we saw that last year with the explosion of the NIL. There was a point last year on some of the pregame shows I said, hey, these are all guys on new teams, and with the college rules, we didn't see anybody really play real quality football in September and October last year, except for maybe Oregon. And I think that was part of the problem. It's not going to be a problem here at Ohio State.
James Peoples has been quiet tonight, but not touched until he got close to that first down. He gets 11 with more on Ryan Day. Here's Zora.
Well, guys, we were all at the Ohio State football facility yesterday, and I didn't see any signs from last year's national championship hanging around. When I asked Coach Day about it, he said people will refer to us as the defending champions, but we are not defending anything. He told the team, this group hasn't done anything. We got to build from our foundation, build from the beginning. The leaders of the team responded and said, all right, let's take everything down then.
As though a couple times in the conversation, he talked about how hard this team is working. Excellent job off the left side. And Peoples almost broke a big one.
Here we go. Here's Peoples, right? Coming up in the program. Again, we're going to see the double pullers, smash mouth football, huge hole. And Peoples got good vision. And another guy that's got some explosion to him and makes a nice run here. But you said it right. Zora said it right. He even said, he's like, defending, he's like, what, the trophy's going to be there all forever. It's not going anywhere. It's a new year. We got it in the trophy case downstairs. That's going nowhere, right? What's ours forever. He's like, but we're moving on. And I thought he had a great approach to this year.
Change tailbacks again. They fake it to Donaldson, saying. Now to Donaldson out of the backfield. Now he's one of the rare transfers from West Virginia, and a good pickup there.
I like it, though. I like their formula. I like where I think this offense is potentially going on this side of the ball. As I said earlier, in a lot of ways, it almost excites me more for what it could be than what we saw last year. That should be good news for Ohio State. Because Brian Hartline has gone, wait, we're going to be more diverse running the football. And within that, we're going to have a really diverse play-action pass off it, and that's the way to go when you've got all these freaks at wide receiver who can just fly down the field all the time.
Donaldson gets the first. So we've seen them rotating through the three backs, Chris. Donaldson, Peoples, and Jackson. And told us yesterday, Donaldson's the hammer. Peoples has the quickness. And Bo Jackson is the home run hitter.
They're going to be good no matter what. I mean, it's awesome, awesomer, and awesomeness. I mean, they're all would start for most teams in college football. But, yeah, they got the tough task here of figuring out which one. And I even think when they find the right one, you're going to still see the one or two other guys get carries and be a part of the offense in certain situations.
The Buckeyes now piling up the yards. They're at 555. How about Jeremiah Smith? Still not touched. Touchdown.
Why I'm excited about them again, Paul. I'm going to say it again, but again, it's off the run fake. And when you're worried about the run as the defense, you forget about the guy coming around the edge here. And you have a little wrinkle off that run game, and look at all these big guys who didn't even do anything. They were just like, hey, let's run down with Jeremiah and look cool. But I really like where this offense is going. I'm going to say that again, and kudos to Brian Hartline right now.
Brian Hartline, offensive coordinator, calling plays for the first time in his career. And dialing up plenty that work here in this second half. Jeremiah Smith now has 19 career touchdowns. There's Brian Hartline. He's only 3 games into his sophomore year. Hey, tomorrow it's the Manchester Derby streaming live on Peacock. Whether you're red or blue, a rivalry that's as sharply relevant as it is historically rich. Manchester City, Manchester United, tomorrow 11:30 Eastern on Peacock.
That's a big one.
Always. Always.
I played for the Buccaneers, right? Who, of course, the owners own Manchester United, so I kind of like de facto root for them.
Jeremiah Smith having a nice little Jeremiah Smith kind of night.
Yes, he is.
A couple of touchdowns.
Can do it a lot of ways. We saw him return a punt that got a penalty. We saw the post routes for touchdowns, a reverse. He's got a chance to be and win the Heisman.
Right?
Right. I mean, and I feel like they're calling plays for that and trying to set that up a little bit as we go here.
Okay, let's take a peek ahead for Ryan Day and the #1 Ohio State Buckeyes. They get a breather now, a bye week, and then they dive into the Big Ten, big trip out to Seattle to take on Washington, and then it begins to roll.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. The Big Ten's a different league. For years and years, we've been like, hey, the SEC is clearly the best division in college football. No, I think the Big Ten Conference has got something to say about that now, especially after the last 2 national championship wins, and then the SEC not even being in the national championship. So they better come ready to play week in and week out in this conference.
Little bit of success up the middle there for the Bobcats. Looks like they have made another change at quarterback. Going back to Polis, they pick up 5 yards right there. And thinking about that schedule, what's changed a lot about the Big Ten, Illinois is now a legitimate top 10 team, and they will very soon be in Champaign with a crowd that cannot wait for the Buckeyes to get there.
Right, and we're going to see how good Washington really is, and we know Oregon's still there, and is USC going to be better than they were last year? So there's still some unknown in the Big Ten right now. But yeah, going out there to Washington in that first Big Ten game is not going to be easy. Jed Fish is a good coach, and you're making a cross-country trip.
Oh, turned the wrong way. And Polis got a couple of, and in a way for the Buckeye defense, you're playing against Parker Navarro was a good warm-up for Damon Williams, who just might be excellent for the Huskies.
Exactly. Right. They between Arch Manning and a Parker Navarro, the quarterbacks that run and scramble, this defense is going to feel pretty comfortable about what to do, the rules they have installed against the running quarterback. And I think that's a positive for this Ohio State defense going forward, too.
Polis, and he'll get a first. Came into the second quarter when Navarro got hurt. Ran a couple of series, did a nice job, and now back in to finish this game, picks up 11.
So there was all that talk about, like, Ryan Day's not tough enough. They don't win tough games. Like, I hope all that's gone, because I've been around here enough and watched them play enough football to go, I don't believe in that. The way they play, the coaches here, what they did last year with their backs against the wall going into the playoffs, all that stuff is done, and Ryan Day is clearly one of the best coaches in college football.
And Ohio looks like they're content to run out the clock here. They pick up 4, and they didn't really disappoint here today. I think they created hope that this would be a game with what they did at Rutgers, how they beat West Virginia. The score right now is all Buckeyes, and I think a lot of people expected that, but for a large part of this game, it was a lot closer than this.
Definitely. They did the right things. They played the game the right way. They got a little unlucky with Parker Navarro's injury to start the second quarter. Who knows what the score might have been at halftime. So Ohio showed up. Now, let's dive into the psychology of that a little bit. Hey, Ohio's sick of hearing about Ohio State, right? They got to hear that all the time. They were motivated. I always question how motivated a team like Ohio State is when a team like Ohio comes into town, right? Just to be fair in the conversation.
And for Ohio, priority #1 is to come out of this with confidence intact so you can make a run at another MAC title.
That's exactly right. And that's why Parker Navarro's out of the game. The game's over. They know, hey, we lost. We tried our best, but we need that guy so we can go win the MAC and get to a bowl game and continue to build this program under Brian Smith, which I think he will, because I like him and we enjoyed talking to him and their staff. They certainly seem to know football, and I was impressed.
whistles and a timeout, Buckeyes.
Timeout, Ohio State. It's their first of the half. There'll be 30 seconds.
Okay, so now we took a look at what Ohio State has coming up the rest of the season. Let's do the same with Ohio. You're coming off Big Ten, Big 12, at #1 in the Big Ten. That schedule looks pretty good for Ohio.
It definitely does. They're going to have the confidence to go, wait, nobody we're playing going forward is better than some of the teams we played early in the season. So they're going to feel good about matchups, walking on the field, going, we've been battle-tested. We've seen the best team in the nation. We knew we hung with them for a half. And I think that will give them confidence going forward here. The big thing for them is to not fall asleep against the next opponent because, hey, we're good. We were there with Ohio State for a little while. We should have beat Rutgers, and we dominated West Virginia. Just don't fall into that trap, and that's where Parker Navarro and the head coach got to be good leaders to make sure the whole team is on board.
And this is what we've seen on this drive. A fake and a run. Polis, nice job. Slides again. Change move for Ohio. And I thought one of the most interesting parts of our conversation with Ryan Day yesterday, Chris, is when he talked about the mindset they had for that Texas game. Of course they wanted to win, but he said, we wanted to be able to hang our hat on something, and physicality was what we wanted to establish to let people know that we could go toe-to-toe with anybody this year.
I thought that was the quote of the day, too. And it just tells you the mantra of the football team. And it's the right approach in week one. You don't know what you're going to get in week one. You know that. So let's run some plays we're really good at to where the offensive line can just fire off and we can create some attitude for our football team. And we're seeing that pay off today with what they're doing in the run game as well.
Yeah, run defense doing well here for Ohio State, but the run game, big reason they have 572 yards of total offense. Amazing.
Yeah, they're scary, and they're not even hitting on all cylinders yet. So when they do, watch out, college football.
2-minute timeout has arrived here in Columbus. Ohio has had their moments here tonight, but as the game got longer, the top-ranked team has looked the part. Ohio State on their way to a third win of the season. 2 minutes left to play here at the Horseshoe. Ohio State has pulled away in the second half. It was 13-9 at one point. As you can see, things have changed. They're now up 37-9 with only 2 minutes left.
It was awesome being here. I haven't been in the Horseshoe since they recruited me in high school when they had the track around the field still.
Yeah.
So it was great to be here, be a part of this. I'm in amazement of this program. I mean, again, since I was in high school, this team has been towards the top of college football for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said about that. The people that run the school, they hire the right coaches, and the coaches do the right thing to make the program so good.
Hey, just out of curiosity, who ended up being the quarterback in that era when you could have come and somebody else?
Oh, well, I was dumb and I should have came, but it was Steve Bellisari. He was a lefty. He was a little older than me. His dad had also played, or his brother had also played here at Ohio State, and I knew they liked him a lot. So I said no to John Cooper and yes to Mac Brown. And no regrets, but sometimes I do wonder, like, what if?
Right? Injured Bobcat is Trent Allen, senior lineman from Windermere, Florida.
Ohio used their first timeout.
So Chris and I would miss you if you left, but we would understand if you want to flip over to NBC. Heck of a game going on right now in South Bend. Notre Dame just scored again. Third quarter, they lead Texas A&M 31-28.
No, like seriously, I want to be like, why are you still listening to us? Why? Just go to the real NBC. It's company on company crime. We're okay with that. And that's a good one right there. We know this one's over. We won't be offended. Even my mom changed the channel, all right? My mom, Diana, changed the channel. She just texted me. She's like, we stopped watching your game, all right? So she's watching Notre Dame and Texas A&M.
Good to see Trent Allen walking off the field under his own power.
Correction. Ohio State has declined the 10-second runoff. Ohio will be returned. Their first timeout will be returned to them.
Okay, so as long as we're seeing Julian Sayin having a laugh on the sideline. Coming off an evening against Grambling State with one incompletion. He goes 25 out of 32 tonight, 347, 3 touchdowns, and did have the 2 picks.
Yeah, and got a little unlucky with the picks, certainly. They weren't like it was like, oh, that's such a bad read or so horrible. Sometimes some of that happens as a quarterback in football. The ball just bounces the wrong way.
Polis. The ball looked like it got knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Not sure if somebody got their hand on it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there either.
Bring up 4th down. There is a flag down. Been a pretty clean game so far that way.
It has.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
Ohio State doesn't, they're not going to settle for a team making mistakes or anything. This is going to be the great coaching experience. This is a great win for them because they won and they still did some things wrong to where the coaches can go, hey, good job.
The ineligible player downfield. It'll be 4th down.
All right, it was an ineligible player downfield, so now it's 4th down. But coaches love this. Like, yeah, we won, so we're good. But we messed some things up, so I can get on you guys all week at practice to tell you this ain't going to get it done against that team up north, or if we got to play Texas in the college playoff or whatever. And that's always an advantage for a coach going into a week that I think a lot of these guys are going to deal with that this week here at Ohio State.
All right, 4th down, and call it 5 yards here for the Bobcats. Try it off the left side, and they get to keep this drive going. New set of downs. We talked a lot about Julian Sayin, and with both our interest in quarterback, we talked about him a lot this week. You were anxious to see him. A lot of good tonight. A few coaching points.
Yeah.
What's the future for him?
I mean, the future's bright. He plays big in the pocket. He's 6'1", but he looks bigger than that in the pocket. He's not affected by pressure around him. He keeps his eyes down the field. We talked about the mechanics and the motion. It's effortless, and there's very little wasted motion, and that's why you see the ball so accurate all the time. I think he's just going to continue to grow, and like I've said about the whole team, I'm very excited about the potential of this team because of what I see from the coaches and what I see from the scheme on both sides of the field, along with the great players they have.
Ohio with a nice pickup there on the ground. Let's go back to the studio for a game break.
Chris Sims, I am still watching you. John Fanta here. with an update from South Bend. Jadarian Price from 17 yards out puts the Irish back on top. You mentioned it. There is that ND score over on NBC.
That's my guy right there. John Fanta. He's over there on Fantasy Island calling plays like that.
Ohio might get a touch. Had a chance there. Little bit too much for the tight end.
That duo at Notre Dame, though, at running back, they rival just about anybody in the sport right now.
Oh my gosh, right?
Right.
Love and Price?
Yes, that's a special group right there. And I have, as I said, I have no shame in saying, let's go Notre Dame, because I'm a Longhorn.
Not because you work at NBC. Jake Bruno almost had a touchdown there. 24 seconds left. Pull his hands off. And that will do it here for Ohio State against Ohio. Final seconds will tick off the clock. Bobcats did themselves proud. They were down 13-9 early in the third quarter. Julian Sayin came alive with the deep ball. Jeremiah Smith proved to be the best player on the field. Ohio State moves to 3-0, and Ohio falls to 1-2. Buckeyes will have a little chance to relax here. Kaz Merrick, you saw, played tight end at Ohio, so a lot of friends for him to see before the off week, and they play at Washington. Head coach Ryan Day with Zora right now.
Coach, you challenged your guys to get in the end zone more in the second half. They did that 3 different times. What adjustments did they make?
We had some big plays down the field, but yeah, I mean, if you're gonna turn the ball over twice and not score in the red zone, and that's what happens, And I thought we moved the ball well, but that's playing football, and a big part of it is situational and understanding that when you get down in the red zone, you got to score touchdowns. That didn't happen early on, and so it became a close game that went to the second half. I thought we responded well and had good energy, and when you go into a game thinking it may go one way and it doesn't, you got to make sure you respond the right way. Nobody panics, and then we played better in the second half.
There's a standard that you expect to see here, no matter the score. What parts of that standard were met tonight?
Oh, I thought everybody played hard. I mean, that's for sure. I thought, we played physical, and even coming out in the second half, it was a closer game than we probably expected to be in the second half. But then again, we shouldn't have expectations. We should just be looking to play as hard as we can every day, every play, and that's what it came down to. I think in the second half we played a little better, a little sharper, but if we're not going to score touchdowns in the first half in the red zone and turn the ball over twice, you put yourself at risk.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Ryan Zora, thank you. And Chris, making reference to 2 interceptions from Julian Sayin, and even more so, they started the game with a long drive. They had first and goal and didn't score. Same situation later in the half as well. Jeremiah Smith was an absolute star tonight. Zora now has him.
Jeremiah, 2 touchdowns tonight for you. What allows you to be so successful in one-on-one opportunities?
I think just, Coach Hartline preaching each and every day, you got to win versus man. So that's what I went out there and did today. That's all.
You got a new quarterback this year, and he loves throwing the ball to you. He's like, I throw it anywhere, and I know he's going to get it. How have you all gotten to know each other better these last few weeks?
Me and Julian, we connected very well. As soon as he got the job, it was like, okay, we got to go from here. We just got to build that chemistry, and that's what we've been doing over the last month or 2.
And with your performance tonight, you are now the fastest wide receiver in Ohio State history to get to 1,500 yards. Given all the greats that have come through here, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. Still got a long way to go, but just gotta keep working and just keep going first.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Back-to-back 100-yard games for Jeremiah Smith as the #1 Ohio State Buckeyes improve to 3-0 on the season. They have an off week. They'll begin the Big Ten season at Seattle, taking on Washington. In-state rivalry was fun for a lot of this game. Ohio was to within 13-9, but the Buckeyes flexed as the second half got longer. Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Day, still unbeaten, still #1. Thanks for being with us tonight. For Zora Stevenson, Chris Sims, I'm Paul Burmeister. We'll see you again next time. Good night from Columbus.